Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Nintendo Pow Block here on Boss Push Network. I'm your host, Lots excited, and joining me is the one, the only Bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello, Edward. It is a Saturday evening. It is a busy time in everyone's life. It feels like.
Yes.
Oh man, I am so ready to not be busy.
Well,
I'll just somebody let me know when it's time because
hopefully it's in the summer and everything.
For who?
Hopefully for both of us. But I got raggedy kids to deal with on Saturdays.
Did you say raggedy kids to deal with?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they're starting now to come in at night and everything. And I'm just like, y'all need to be home because school is about to end. So they like to come in my store about 8 or 9. And there'd be like 15 boys or 15 girls coming in. I'm just like, y'all not going to buy nothing. And I end up having to call the police to kick them out. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to have the police do it. Because I'm like, I want y'all to create all the evidence so they can see it. And then have y'all parents come pay for it and y'all take it home.
Yeah.
Or if you steal it, get arrested.
Well, it's someone's not gonna be very happy.
Oh no. Yeah, they caught the 2 kids that I called the police on for stealing alcohol.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I think their parents probably came in to pay for it because when they had their court case, I was already in Boston at PAX. So what fun.
Sounds riveting.
Yes.
I don't miss that life. So that, the restaurant was similar, but
that's a whole nother story.
I mean, there was a whole podcast on it for a while, so
I would say that's our beginning Nintendo Block days, Pow Block days.
It was something. It's funny. My daughter watched my first episode of this when Joey and I were doing it.
Yeah.
And I let her watch it because that first episode's only like 6 minutes because it was intended to be a YouTube show, right? So,
yeah.
Back then, and she was like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "That's my friend Joey." She's like, "I don't know Joey." I'm like, "Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time." So, yeah, it was funny though because they're like really into YouTube stuff, and then they're like, there's all those toys. I'm like, yeah, they were there on the desk and behind me, and now Miles sleeps with most of them. So, because I have the Mario 64 beanie plush things and like the some Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers and motorcycle stuff on the desk, and now they're like in Miles toy bins. While I get new stuff.
Did you you haven't showed up one of our first episodes, right?
No, they can't. They don't have an attention span that long.
Oh,
I mean, I barely have an attention span that long. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, it was funny because they're like at that age where they're like really starting to love YouTube. They watch this girl who like essentially destroys stuffed animals and creates her own.
Oh wow.
She's like her whole YouTube thing is like an art thing, and they always they know that I do like shows and stuff, and they know that it's on YouTube. But this was like one of the first times where my daughter was actually like, you're on YouTube. I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, it's literally my job. So that was funny. Good times.
It's so funny as we talk about the way that we met, and how we all have a YouTube presence, but it was less it's kind of weird that you started your content on YouTube and I started my content on podcast service with my friend and his podcast stuff. So I did audio and you did video. Um
Yeah, it was a lot harder back then.
yes.
To be honest. Remember, dude, and then our first episode, our first like 200 episodes were on Skype or whatever.
Yeah.
And we had to like use that nasty audio. Oh my gosh, it was awful.
Yeah.
I tried, dude. I tried really hard to replace a lot of those episodes because Riverside has that magic audio feature, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, which is like AI enhanced audio, and it like tries to fill in gaps and stuff. And it's just like it. Some of them definitely did not turn out any better. A lot of them were worse, actually.
Oh,
So I just kind of, before episode 300, I just kind of like stopped doing that because I was like, nobody's really going to go back this far except for us. But,
yes.
But
the history, like I said, the history leading up to our 500 has been a journey and everything. And we were still at a point in time still doing double stuff. Like you were still doing your YouTube show on DNA. Like you kind of had like what 2 podcasts going on at that time.
Well, we had what is this? Yes, delete. I said delete. It's hold on, I can open that because I actually went and looked at some of that stuff because I'm gonna put that Destiny podcast on the Tower Casuals YouTube channel. Just so we have all the Destiny stuff in one place. But I had, let's see. We had the DNA podcast, which was the main show. And then we had DNA Weekly Strike, which was our Destiny podcast. That was really popular. And then my one friend just kind of decided he didn't want to do it anymore, which is, I mean, I'm not blaming anybody. It's just that's how it ended. And then we tried to like regroup and do it, and this only lasted like a couple episodes, but we tried to do Gamer FM, which was like a podcast where we tried to like talk about multiplayer games we were all playing together, and like then it just kind of fizzled. Like we were talking about like Overwatch, and I talked about Overwatch a lot, and we were talking about For Honor at one point, and The Division. So those were and Dark Souls. So those were the games we were talking about. And then we had a bunch of internet, like YouTube shows. We had, my friend Joey, his nickname, his like username online is Toast. Like his name is Toast. And so like we did, and he loves to drink. Like his favorite thing to do is like drink beer and taste all kinds of beer. So we had a show called A Toast to Beer, and it was just him taste testing different beers. But we had to like, the way he did it, because what we would do is like shoot a bunch of these shows all at once and in bulk, right? Yeah. But we couldn't do that with his show because obviously you do that with alcohol, it's dangerous, especially when he lives 25 minutes away from where we were filming. And then we had Secrets of the Stash, which was my old friend Cameron, who wanted to talk about like making movies and film and like how certain things were made. And we had Real Talk, which was like a movie, sort of could have been a podcast, but it was more like a half-hour YouTube show about movies and shows and stuff like that. We had a lot. And then, Pow Block kind of started there. And it kind of started as like, I wanted to do a Nintendo show, but Joey didn't really want to do like the show that I wanted to do. And then like we were, my one friend kind of didn't want to do the Destiny podcast anymore. And then it just got really hard for us to get together. So like Pow Block became, we rebooted it essentially in June that year. And, Nerds Gone Rogue was born out of this because that was going to be our like community podcast, which I wasn't planning on being a part of a whole lot, but it ended up being our main show for a long time after that. So
yeah, because I think me and Adrian were not just like co-hosts, but kind of like at first guests in a sense.
well,
'Cause
you and I decided to do it, and
yes.
Adrian wanted to do it. But then he started doing the game development thing, or like he was just starting, or he had just got a new I forget what the story was, but
Mhm.
we need to get him back on sometime within the next couple weeks to just.
Yes, I
We
miss
should do
Adrian.
we should do like a series of expansion passes of just having the people who have been on Pow Block over the last 10 years.
10 years.
Which is a lot of people, honestly. But I mean, there's certain people we wouldn't have on, but there are a lot of people that we could have on, and it would be fun.
Yeah. You should reach out and just
Hey,
have a
Todd,
catch up with him.
people who've been on Nintendo Pow Block. Todd's been on. He's in chat.
Oh, hi, Todd.
Yeah. By
Hey,
the way, guys,
guys.
if you want to join us live, if you're listening to this on podcast services, you can watch us live on Saturday nights, most Saturday nights, if Ed's not working. Todd, I've been meaning to reach out to you. Look for a message from me.
Yes.
But
also, Todd, your son is getting big. I seen one of his pictures just as a family. I'm like, where did he grow?
Yeah, it's I saw those pictures floating around on I don't know whatever social media website we are all on that nobody really uses, but people post there anyway. You know what I mean? What is it? I was wondering when you guys noticed. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Todd. We started using a new. So everybody out there, we started using a new recording program a few weeks ago called Riverside. It's and like the live chat cannot be open at the same time as the private chat, like between me and Ed or the studio. So like having it open, right, is like I had to click a different button, so I didn't see. So I actually saw like the notification also is like literally like this big, and the purple kind of blends in with the gray on my end, so it like doesn't. You like can't see it. It's a terrible like color scheme. I love Riverside, except for the color schemes, and like the notifications could be a little bit bigger, stuff like that. But I mean, I've been using Riverside at work for like a year and a half, and it's like, I love it. So,
that's good. That's
anyway, it's
cool.
not important, I guess.
That's
I'm not
super
editing
cool.
any of this out, by the way. Everybody's just gonna have to suffer through this. So,
Pain lies on the riverside. That's a live song. Good night. I don't know if I ever told. Well, yeah, I did talk about kind of my journey and everything, because I was more of a writer, like doing oneup.com, blogging days, GamesBeat, getting some of my stuff featured in the top 5 blogs of the week and everything. And one of them actually caught one of the past EGM editors' eyes and stuff, and it was a story about the blog was called, and I think it's still up. I think people can find it. I hate the Xbox 360, and the comment was that hate is a strong word. I was just like, well, I'm not gonna say I dislike it. I'm like, I hate the system. I'm like, the controller don't feel well. Y'all paying $400 for a system that could break. You got to wrap a towel around it. I'm like, this is some nonsense. And y'all got on us on Nintendo about blowing cartridges, and then only 2 weeks after you use your Xbox 360, it might fail. You got one person who had to buy 4 of them Just I'm like, no.
It's funny. I know it's funny because I never had an issue with Xbox. I've always had issues
Mm.
with PlayStation hardware, which is like the console nobody ever has any issues with. But I never once had an issue with Xbox.
The only PlayStation that I had a problem with was one because I had to turn mine upside down. So um So yeah, that was that was for me. But my PlayStation 2 came later. Like my PlayStation 2 after I got my GameCube. Because I when I started working and I had my job, so while still going to school, I was buying my consoles. You know, bought the Dreamcast, GameCube, PlayStation 2, bought the Xbox, and then uh was just like my PlayStation 2, my Xbox are gonna be for used games, and my GameCube was gonna be for brand new games, still to this day. Um, but not so much now. Yeah, so it's good to see you too, Todd. Have a good night, dude. Thank you for dropping in. We love you, man.
Miss you, Todd. We'll
Uh,
have you on soon.
yes.
Fandom Foundry, everybody. Todd Oxter.
Yes,
Go
yes.
subscribe. Go check it out. His new podcast. He was just on something recently too. I just saw it on Facebook. He was a guest somewhere with what's his name? Matt. His glasses kind of what's it called? Dang.
You gonna look it up?
It starts with an S. He was part of the Bossies 2 years ago. I forget what his name is. You brought him in. I forget what his name is.
From content creators.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Risky.
Yeah, that him.
Yeah, from the PlayStation Experience podcast.
Yeah,
Shout out to Matt.
He was on. Todd was on something with him recently. I saw that on Facebook. Tell me the last time you opened Facebook.
I used it for my birthday. So
well, I opened it for work. I did.
Man,
we have an event on starting Monday, so I had to change the the work header image.
Man, dude, even Facebook played a pivotal role in our friendship and Power Block and stuff. Because definitely, dude, we were when we couldn't. When we was planning stuff, we was doing everything through Facebook.
I know.
Messenger.
What you're saying is it's Mark Zuckerberg's fault.
Yeah. Well, then we ended up giving each other our phone numbers, and bam, we moved from Facebook DMs to text, and we still text each other most days when
Yeah, it's too much. It's time to move along.
No. Because I've been cracking up with some of your Instagram stuff that you sent me. I'm just like, you know what? They've been kind of funny. But then you start doing the monster ones. I'm like, oh, yeah,
I don't know how I got sucked into those ones. They just kind of started popping up, and I was like,
yeah,
okay, I guess.
And now I watch them.
So, I think we're accidentally logged into Laurent's thing too. Oh well, hello, Laurent's people.
Hello,
because we stream the Boss Rush podcast to his YouTube channel too.
And
I forgot to turn it off. Oh well, he's fine. He'll get over it.
Is that Laurent? Did he say I know it's wild?
No, it's me.
Oh
no,
okay.
All those I know it's wild is me.
I gotta I gotta talk to Laurent. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah,
everything.
You don't
miss him.
It's fine.
No, I miss Laurent.
I'm just giving him a hard time. Yeah.
But yeah, that was my thing and everything. So yeah, it was, and like I said, the optional opinion came out of my one up stuff. When I went from written to audio to podcasting and stuff. And I was, and yeah. And I think Corey, you were like literally my first guest on Optional Opinion, and I
I
had to try
was.
to. I think so.
Are you sure it wasn't like Larry? I feel like
Um,
Larry would have been your first guest.
Larry came later.
I mean, I'm not
Uh,
complaining, but no, you were. I thought you were doing
I
World
think
1 at the time. Were you
I
not?
was. Yeah, I
Okay.
was doing World 1. But when I was doing optional, I think you may. I mean, Larry may be my first. But like anytime I was recording with Larry, was for World 1 because I didn't know how to do. I'm like, how would I work guest stuff in? I had to because I was doing everything through a mixer and everything. That was
Yeah,
our old podcasting days of
dude.
mixing everything,
Dude, I
and
spent so
then
much money on microphones and mixers and all that before, like,
because I think me and you had the same mixer at one time,
you had the smaller one and I had the bigger one because I
big
was
one,
planning
yeah.
because I was doing things in person, so I had more ports on it. But you had the 2-person one, and I think I had the 4 or 6-person one. Yeah, dude, I spent so much money on microphones and just, man, it was
Yeah,
something.
because because I had to connect. I think I had to connect. Yeah, I had to connect my phone to my mixer for one of the ports. So when I got done with one of my optional opinion segments, everybody could hear the music from YouTube. And so I would start playing it. And I literally was mixing everything live during
Uh-huh.
the recording. So
Yeah,
you would hear me talk.
what you're supposed to do.
But you would hear me talk, and instead of just like where I could just go throw music in, I would have to, turn the volume up, mix the music, and then fade the music out by turning the volume down, and then start talking. Going into my next segment.
Uh-huh.
Um, so while doing that, I would have to get ready to go to the next song, make sure there's no commercials, pause it, make sure I went to the beginning and everything. And I had to do my play. I actually made an optional opinion playlist, and I would have to change the songs and stuff out, and everything. So during those days, everybody, that's how I kind of like was doing that show and
Gosh,
everything.
it's funny because I actually went back, like, before I even started podcasting, and I was invited on the
Mhm.
Life of Gaming podcast. Remember with Jamie and Josh all the
Yeah.
way back then?
Yes.
And I was like I was on their 3rd episode, and I went back and listened to it the other day just because I was trying to, I don't know, I was just feeling kind of oddly nostalgic
Curious.
and like, how bad was it? I was like, man, that was a time. But there's also that era of DNA that nobody even really knows about, remembers, is like, I wasn't the first host of the DNA podcast. A guy I worked with named Dan was the first host,
Oh
and we
wow.
we did it for like 20 something episodes, and like we were like on the cusp of like what we felt like was big, and then he long story short, he got like really drunk during an episode and like got and like a lot of things kind of fell apart at that moment. But
Oh.
there's like 20 something episodes that are just, they just don't exist anymore anywhere.
Because you were when you was doing it, you was recording at your house.
Well, yeah, but we also were recording remotely because he had a good setup.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
he had a setup that could, like, he was like really, it was like when OBS first came out and like we were integrating like virtual guests, and he had like its whole setup. It was because he was
Ah,
streaming, like he was streaming a lot. And so like we were doing that, but um
okay. So those are the ones I don't know and
yeah,
everything. Because
yeah,
I remember when uh I found DNA, of course through Nintendo Voice Chat. I was buying y'all merch too. I had the yellow DNA shirt, uh,
mhm.
and everything, and
Which
so
was
I
what,
would,
through Redbubble? Ugh,
yeah.
gross.
Cause that's when I'm like, definitely was supporting you guys and stuff, listening to the podcast, um, and join the community and everything. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm a fan of this. Um, while still doing optional, because I never made a Facebook page for optional or anything. I will post my episodes literally on my on my personal Facebook page and
Mhm.
stuff. Um, you know, and stuff like that. I know that when later years when I started having more guests and everything, uh, Johnny and Mac, I believe, uh, um, those guys in Florida, they would come on my show and everything, and um, Eric M. Hunter, he came on my show, and like that's when I started getting into more guests and everything. So I might have more guests before you came on, Corey, because I remember I was I was
Yeah,
kind of nervous.
I definitely don't think I was the first guest.
Yes. Okay, I was really nervous asking you,
Why?
because I know we were great. I know we were friends and everything, but I was just like, how do I? I'm like, what do I have in common with Corey that's outside of Nintendo?
What
And
did
it
we
was
talk
just
about?
like
Was that the Roller
Roller
Coaster
Coaster
Tycoon episode, or was that the
Tycoon.
Destiny
Yeah,
episode?
it was the Roller Coaster Tycoon episode. Destiny
Mm,
came out later,
right.
uh, and everything. But it was the Roller Coaster Tycoon one, because we started talking about Roller Coaster Tycoon, how we loved the first one, how we see different on the third one. And you were more experienced with the second one because I didn't get the second one. I didn't play the second one and everything. Um, and so it was that love for Roller Coaster Tycoon, because I'm just like, I, I think that was a game that we both love what it is, but we both play it in different ways. Cause like, um, for me, Roller Coaster Tycoon, of course, was like the parks and everything, but I never played the sim game, and it was just me wanting to build roller coasters, and that's when 3 came out and just gave me that sandbox open world where I could just make roller coasters without worrying about money. That was my thing. That's what I loved about it. But you knew how to make a park and everything.
Uh-huh.
And so that's why I kind of understand why you do the things you do with Dreamlight Valley and stuff.
Yeah. I'm man, speaking of Dreamlight Valley, we're gonna talk about it in a minute.
Yes. But yeah, I was just thinking about that for a bit. Because I've been also listening to some old Pow Block episodes, and I know I gotta get back on SoundCloud. I gotta kind of renew it so I could get all my episodes back up. Um re-download all of them and then move them to a site that I could put them all on and stuff and everything. Cause I'm just like, I got a lot of great interviews and a lot of discussions and topics. And, they're now locked behind SoundCloud and stuff. I mean, I got them saved, backed up, saved on some of my backup data and everything. But like if I could re-download them again so I could put them up at different places, I will, and then I'll definitely give them episode numbers and
Uh-huh.
stuff, because I gave them titles, but I never put episode numbers on it. So that's a lot of work I have to do on my part and stuff. Yeah, and some of those episodes are part of the beauty of video games.
Mhm.
Um, and everything, which I will talk to you about at Friday after the show or a little bit later. But I want to bring that project to Boss Rush, because I'm gonna start writing it in May, um, and then hopefully I can start getting some recordings probably in June, so I could have everything ready for September. I'm trying to think if I don't do it in September, I'll definitely do it in August. I mean, not August, October to release it. Um, because right now it's like the beauty of video games is about personal interest.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of like more of why it's important to find a game or something that means something to you personally, that why it grabbed your interest, but it may not grab others.
Mhm.
And um sometimes having games as your own, or a franchise as your that you proclaim as your own and stuff, it's not such a bad thing. It's something that you can celebrate. Um and um to let everybody know, it's a celebration of video games, or even entertainment, and what we find beautiful in it. So there are going to be some negative articles and stuff, but there's beauty in that negative. You know, um, talking about why something may fail, but people now who get a chance to play those games that people think they're fail, why is there such a yearn for a comeback of those
Mhm.
titles and stuff? So,
I mean,
um,
look at Marathon, right? I mean, that was like the one the
yeah,
recently of like everybody hated it, and then everybody's like, "Oh, well, the game's actually pretty good." And then, they started showing off other stuff and people were like, "Oh, okay, sure, like this is cool." Like
hmm
I think people are just down on Bungie and like the scrutiny that they went through the last few years versus with like the layoffs and the art thing and the all these things. And then like you get into that and then you get into like, you know, Sony's live service initiative, and it's just not taking off the way I think they hoped it would. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, I mean it's sad, but that people. I mean, look at No Man's Sky, right? We're gonna talk about it in a minute, but they just put out a whole like a Pokemon game in it.
yeah. I
uh,
think,
so
and even Xbox games, like, dude, like South of Midnight, people were just like, yeah, pick this game up and play it.
mhm,
And everybody was saying, yeah, pick this up on Switch too. I'm like, pick it up anywhere that it's available, because it's a great game. It's like a Vow. I think a Vow Premium Edition or something is on sale. That was a great game. I mean, that's something that Xbox themselves are experiencing. You
mhm,
know, that a lot of their games that came on their platform may not have popped off. And we kind of talked about this on Special Pass, but now just like when people finally play it on other platforms and get experience, they be like, okay, I understand. Yes, I now know why the Xbox community or people who played it love this game. Go out and support it and stuff like that.
mhm.
So yeah, that's kind of like my my thing for video games. And when people read I'm still working on my PAX East article, interviews. I got some more that I'm going to get out. When you guys see that question and you hear their answers, it's something that people may be able to resonate in her thing. Um, just having a game that you personally love, that you are so interested, that other people may not, or that some people may not understand and stuff. So yeah, the beauty of video games, the ideal is to get 3 weeks worth of writing done, and then a podcast episode out, and then there'll be a fourth podcast where a special guest would give the eulogy of it. Like they personally in the they kind of wrap everything up um about it, and they could have something written, or they could create it on the spot, whatever they want to do, but they will wrap up the whole project and everything. And it's been an honor having a lot of people do that. Great friend Eric and Hunter, he have given a eulogy for past video of a video game topics and stuff. And I this year I'm just like, yeah, I'm being more committed of writing stuff, and yeah, want to bring the boss rush and everything.
Cool.
So yeah. Now that that's out the way, how about we get into Snack Nintendo?
Ed texted me and said, "We don't have anything to talk about tonight." I'm like,
News wise, we still have stuff to talk about, but news wise, Cause like I was gonna try to do something for the Triple I initiative to write it, but I'm like, mm, there wasn't much for like Switch and a lot of stuff that was like, of course, Steam wish list. Nothing wrong with the games and stuff, but some of them were just like, this is another horror game mix up. This is another. I'm just like, I'm going to pass on that. I'm just going to watch the show and stuff. It was a great show. Don't get me wrong. Oh, shout out to WSAD and beyond.
ASD?
They, huh?
WAST?
Oh, WASD
Wow.
and beyond. Sorry, everybody.
He's not sorry.
They did a recap of it. So if you guys go check out their podcast, you could go hear their thoughts and everything. So just want to shout them out that they did that. Because I'm ready for wholesome games. And as much I seen Jenny and I just love her. At PAX, we really didn't get to talk and stuff. But hopefully when I see it, of course, Hoshi comes to PAX West. Hopefully I'm able to go to PAX West. Once I see her, of course, gotta give my hug, give my love to her, and then just tell her like thank you for the show and everything. I'm super excited for the shirts and stuff like that. But Snack Nintendo. I'm sorry, Corey.
Wow.
Typical Pow Blocks though.
Typical Ed.
Yeah, that is true. So for me, everybody, I'm just gonna start it off. Had some vegetable stir fry this week. Actually got to taste the dirty Mountain Dew. It's a pass for me. I don't know what this dirty stuff. I think it's supposed to be like a cream flavor of Mountain Dew, and it's not working for me. I do have a Fanta Crimson Sour Cherry. I have not tasted yet, but I did pick it up. Uh, Friday was my birthday, so I did get some ice cream and a chocolate cake that I purchased myself and everything. Yeah, I had some salad this week with some balsamic vinegar or
Balsamic
something like that.
vinaigrette?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vinaigrette, yeah. I had it from Domino's. That bug was
Mm.
good, dude. I'm like, ooh, I may have to switch it up. Because I normally, I'll do their ranch or the Caesar dressing when I get their Caesar salads. But man, this one was just like, oh, it was so good. It had some checkers, fries, and checker grilled chicken with Parmesan cheese on it, which was really, really good and stuff. Yeah, and then for my birthday, I had Domino's pizza with pineapple and tomatoes. I didn't have no meat on it and everything. I kind of was kind of trying. I was just trying to eat light that day because I had the salad. Yeah, so and everything. But yeah, I kind of just took it easy and been drinking a lot of cranberry juice this week. Just been having a taste for that and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I snacked on. Oh, I did get some Mrs. Phil cookies while I was at the train station today in Chicago. I got 12 mini chocolate chip cookies, soft baked. So good. For that. If you guys seen my Twitter page, I had a Chicago style hot dog. I took off the peppers. I can't really eat spicy stuff. But this one was like kind of loaded and everything. They really filled it up. But it was really, really good. I was like, yeah, this is sitting in the spot. And then I also had Taco Bell also for them.
Wow.
Probably later on in the show or after the show, I'll probably go get food somewhere after, because I become a hungry boy sometimes.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's what I've been snacking on. What about you, Corey?
So we had Chipotle tonight, but I switched up my order for the first time
Ooh.
in a long time. And boy, am I glad I did. So I
Oh, did you try that lime
the
sauce?
cilantro lime sauce, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
What's your thought? I liked it.
I liked it a lot. It was
I
really,
think I
really tasty.
I think I think for me, I wish they added more, but I think because I had sour cream in mine, I may take the sour cream out and try to
Yeah,
have that.
it doesn't you shouldn't put it with stuff. Like I
Mhm.
mean, like the last time I went, I got it with like salsa, like the hotter sauce, and I
Yeah.
was like, it doesn't mix well. So like I just got it by itself. What I did was I got the brown rice and the chicken al pastor.
Mhm.
That's the best thing they have by far. Like when it's not there, I'm disappointed. Like that's how much I love it. Um,
I wonder if they're gonna make that as permanent because I know
it's
they
it's
say it was limited
either that
time.
well, it's usually that in like the spring and early summer, and then late summer and fall. It's the carne asada steak.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess it just depends. But I didn't get beans. I usually get black beans, but I just didn't. I was like, I'm gonna try it without beans. I got extra meat, no beans,
Mhm.
the onions and green peppers,
Like the fajita ones.
hmm
Yeah. I
and
get those too.
then I got corn, the cilantro lime sauce,
Mhm.
extra cheese, and guac on my burrito,
Oh. Oh, you
and
got the burrito. Okay.
like chips and salsa. I got too because you can't
Mhm.
not have chips. Dude, it was like the best Chipotle I've ever had. I think
Ooh,
it was
nice.
like it's definitely like the best Chipotle I've had in a long time, like
Mhm.
longer than I can remember. It was that good. Uh, so
I
it was amazing actually. Like,
I yeah, I think I wanna do mines because I don't do mines with beans, because I get the burrito bowl. So I
mm,
think Imma skip I always skip the beans. I may try the lettuce, the fajita ones, the cilantro lime,
mhm.
and then, like, just, like, I get, like, the soft chicken or the pulled chicken, on it and everything. So I may try
The
that.
soft chicken,
Um, I cannot think of it. Uh,
like the chicken, like the regular chicken.
it's chicken, but it's all, like, it's been pulled.
They don't have pulled
Uh
chicken. They have barbacoa and the other one. Oh my gosh, why am I slipping on that?
Oh, I'm looking
The
it up.
carnitas they have,
Carnitas.
which
Yeah,
is
that's it.
it's pork, I
Oh,
think.
it's pork. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I guess I'm even thinking of like Taco Bells and stuff. But I it looks like it looks like pulled chicken to me, shredded chicken to me, I should say.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it's light pork, but it's still,
okay.
it's pork. But, uh, yeah, man, it's just I was so good, man. It was the best Chipotle I've had in a long time. It made me so happy.
Nice.
So, um, yeah, it was great.
I think I
I
ordered
kinda want more.
think I'll order some at the church tomorrow.
Mm,
Before I have to go to work and everything.
mm. Yeah, it was good. I'm glad I got it. Uh,
Yeah.
so, yeah, but that's kinda really it, I guess. Trying to think if there's anything else I missed. I don't think so, but it was still, man, it was still like, oh, it was so good. Like, it was so good. It crossed my mind to like go back and get another one. Even though I
uh,
was like really full afterwards, like it crossed my
uh
mind, like, you should get one for like later.
Uh, I
Oh,
mean, it is the weekend, so uh,
Yeah.
They're on like have the late night snack to help you, relax and sleep, I should say.
Oh, it was so good, man. I just like, oh, I want more. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Then I'm like, then I wonder why I'm like fat. I'm like, that's why.
I've definitely been getting like extra rice with mine.
Oh,
Uh,
I see. I only get rice because I don't put enough meat on it. If I had the choice to get no rice and like
mhm.
replace it with meat, 1,000% I would. I don't like rice like hardly at all.
Oh.
Like it's literally only in there as like a filler.
But do they when you get the fatty fat burritos, do they put rice in it?
Yeah, but a lot of the times if I know I'm going to get extra meat, I will say light rice
Okay.
just because like it's to me rice is like it's the food that people eat when you want to like bulk up and like get
Mhm.
bigger, and it's like that's like the opposite of what I want to do, like I don't need to get bigger. I want to get smaller. Like much smaller.
Okay.
Um,
I do mostly for the because of everything they put on it. It feels like with the rice they don't put enough in my burrito bowl.
Mm.
So I normally any other kind of rice, like when it comes to Mexican rice, I just don't, give me whatever that comes with it. If they ask for extra rice that I can pay for, and their rice is bomb big, I'll be like, yeah, add extra rice.
well, the rice is
Um,
the cheapest part. That's why they put so much on it.
yeah, but see, they got the rice with the cilantro in it, but like the real
Yeah, but
Mexican
cilantro is
rice,
also cheap. Oh, like the orange like Spanish rice.
yeah,
Yeah, I do like that on stuff, but
that. Sometimes I can just eat that by itself and be like, "Yep, I'm about to go to sleep." Roll to the left.
Wow.
That's why. That's why I'm like, super excited. I'm just like, I can't wait to have a fatty fat burrito. I'm like, yes.
Oh, it's so good. It's very good. Very, very good.
So, but is that all, Corey?
Yeah. I mean, that's all it's worth talking about. I haven't really had a whole lot of like snacks. Oh man.
Yeah, I think because it's about to get into like a little bit more the spring, summer, and Memorial's Day. That's when they start to like drop a lot of their snack stuff. I know Pepsi and Coke are doing like drinks and stuff, but like not all stores have it just yet. And like this dirty soda thing is kind of like, I guess, popular, but I'm like,
I don't even really understand what that means.
To tell you the truth, I mean neither. I'm just like, I'll give it a try. Dude,
what does that even mean? I don't like.
It feels like it feels like it's just supposed to be a mixture of regular pop with the flavor of cream soda.
Ew,
I'm
cream soda's the worst.
assuming.
Ew.
I love cream soda. Okay, so we'll definitely have different opinions about cream soda, but I grew up on all these cream soda because Aldi Pops, man, back in the 80s and 90s, dude, top tier. I will always drink there because they cans used to be like 10 cents or 15 cents. And we would get my granddad would get like 24 of them, and he would let us pick out all the flavors because right by his house, like 5 minutes from his house, it was a recycling plant. So he would spend like $2.40 plus the tax, and then get about like almost $10 back from doing the recycling stuff, uh, and everything. I miss my granddad. Talking about y'all, 29 cents for White Castle, 35 cents for cheeseburgers at McDonald's. Dude,
Yeah,
back in the day.
now I'm out here paying $4 a gallon for gas, and it's like,
dude, gas was like $1.25 one day. Gas was like 95 cents. I'm like,
dude, I
whoa.
remember going to the gas station with my parents and my dad letting me fill the gas tank, and it was like 89 cents a gallon.
Yes.
Like, okay,
we had Speedway here, so we would go there to gas up. Even mobile and stuff was cheap. I'm like, yeah,
Man, just
yeah.
now we're oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna not say words.
Well, how about we get into playing with power? Great. What have you been playing with power?
So I beat Super Metroid, Ed.
Yes.
Beat it. That's now 3 Metroid games this year. I'm gonna pause on the Metroid right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna pause, move on to something new.
Did you ever get Metroid Dread?
Yeah. I played like 8 hours of it, but then I talked to LaRon, and apparently I was only like an hour and a half or 2 hours into the game because like I just kept getting lost. So
okay.
But now that I understand more, because I don't play Metroidvania games, right? Like it just like so now I'm gonna play Fusion and Dread back to back.
Ooh.
But I'm gonna play something in between. Could it be another Fire Emblem game? Could it be?
I'm waiting for you to start Mega Man so I can start it with you.
I gotta do Metroid first. I gotta finish Metroid first. Then I'll do Mega Man. I know. Here's the thing. I got a Cut Man today, or I got Wood Man today.
Yes.
Sitting on my shelf over there.
I didn't see the pic. Oh,
I
you didn't take
I didn't send it yet. I literally just opened it like earlier today, and then my parents came over, and we're dealing with a toilet problem right now. We're like trying. So, long story short, the toilet down here in the basement is old, so we bought a new toilet to replace it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when this one was installed, the bracket that holds it to the floor, whoever installed this toilet broke it. Broke the bracket, but installed the toilet anyway. And my dad came over, we were trying to install it together, and like we have to get someone to professionally replace the bracket. It wouldn't be a big deal, but instead of like wood or something in there, that like toilets are usually mounted into like wood or like the like, you know, foundation of the house or whatever. This is in tile and concrete. They didn't even like install it right. And so like we have to have like a professional come out and drill like new holes into the like a professional has to come out with a special tool that will do that. That is like something that I don't think normal people would buy just to have one lying around to replace a toilet like this out on a whim. Because my dad replaced all the toilets at their house. He's replaced a ton of toilets in his life. He like knows what he's doing, right? It's not like, oh, throw our hands up, we don't know what we're doing sort of thing. Like he knows what he's doing, and it's just like
you gotta get A, B, and C, D, A, B, C done so you could do everything else.
Yeah, so we don't have a toilet down here, and they can't come out until Monday, which was 2 days ago by the time you hear this on podcast feeds and on YouTube. But like, it's like another something, just another
adventure.
It's just like I feel like everything I need to do or fix or whatever is always like 10 times more complicated than the person before me. And it's like, come on, please just.
Could we just have things work?
Can we just have nice things?
Do you have to stay home Monday?
I am probably going to work from home on Monday because not just that, but I also have
the event.
There's an event on Monday, and I also have 3 podcast recordings in the morning.
Okay.
9 to 10, 10 to 11, and 11 to 12 on my podcast recording for work.
Because I was about to say, I was just like, man, maybe we can sneak in extra expansion since I don't have to be at work until like 3.
I mean,
I'll be
maybe. I'll let you know. Maybe. I gotta get some stuff. There's a lot going on at work right now, which I'll talk
Mhm.
to you about later. I'm not like mad or down on anything or anything. It's just a lot of work
A
about to
lot of
hit me. So like I want to be ready for it, but I'll let you know.
okay.
I'm trying to do it this weekend, honestly. But what were we talking about? Oh, Mega Man. Yeah, I plan on
Yeah.
getting to Mega Man soon. I promised
Okay.
I'm getting to Mega Man soon.
Because I want
It's here's the thing. There's a lot of games I want to. There's a lot of classic games I want to play this year, and Mega Man's on that list. The Metroid games are on that list. Zelda games are on that list,
Mhm.
and what was the other? Oh, Castlevania is actually on that list too. And now that I am like making my way through Mega Man, I feel like I'm going to be more comfortable playing Castlevania. Asterisks after 3.
Castlevania is gonna be
Fun.
yeah, it's gonna be an
Fun, they say.
interesting one. Yeah. I would say I can't wait for you to play Simon's Quest, Castlevania 2. Love the music in that game. But that's the one I definitely requires a guide.
Oh, I'm
So
not playing any of these games without a guide.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh,
2, you need a guide because even though I beat it, but I got one of the endings. I didn't get it all, the best ending because of at the time there was no guide when that game came out, and I'm like, "Oh, the translation is jacked up." Okay, so
that it
yeah.
was. Good times though. But yeah, I beat that. I've been playing more Marathon, which I just like. It's one of those games that I just continue to think about all the time, even when I'm not playing it, and like doing runs in my head, right? And like
Mhm.
pretending that I'm good at it and know what I'm doing, and uh, like I'm literally like planning my next runs in my head, and like how am I going to do this? How am I going to avoid these people? Am I going to get am I going to go, which class am I going to go in as? Am I going to do a rook run? Josh and I did our kind of spoiler cast and review discussion on it on Tower Casuals this week.
Mhm.
So if you're interested, you can go listen to that. Uh, but yeah, man, a Marathon is an incredible video game. I don't know how much more I'm going to talk about it on this show specifically, but like, I can't get enough of it. I'm watching videos like I don't I don't watch videos of things. I didn't even watch videos of like Destiny except for like lore videos that I could
Oh,
listen to
wow.
while I was working, right? Like I never watched like, oh, let's watch these people like solo this raid or whatever, right? Like I'm like watching videos on Marathon of like solo players and like how to be good at this game solo. So like when you go in with a team, you can be competent, especially when you go to
Yes.
outposts and unlock the pinwheel and like, which again, I'm not going to explain it all here, but essentially like outpost is like the hard mode level, and pinwheel is like the secret location in the middle of outpost. And then, which is where like a lot of the good gear is that you need to go into cryo archive, right? Like, which is like
Mhm.
their equivalent of a raid essentially. Um, so it is a cool game, and the lore is cool, and the cutscenes are cool, and like even though there's not a campaign, like I'm playing through the contracts like it is a campaign, right? Like because every time you complete a contract, you get like a little snippet of story, like a little cutscene uh, that advances the story or like deepens the lore or whatever, and it's like really cool, man. I can't get enough of it.
Nice.
I absolutely love Marathon, and I'm telling you, I have like half the time I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing, and the other
Mhm.
half of the time I feel like a god because I like like I've got in there with the thief character, which is like the character that people use for like movement, because she has a double jump and a grappling hook, and like it's
Yes.
cool to move around as her. Dude, I went in there by myself and like jumping around, and I found a shotgun, which, by the way, Bungie shotguns, okay? I don't care what Bungie game you're playing. They're all OP. They're all OP. Every single one of them. Doesn't matter. Dude, I 1v3'd a team and stole
Dang.
their stuff, and like I was extracting it, and like I was hiding, and like two people were chasing me down, and like I didn't kill them, but they downed me, and I extracted while I was down. And that's an achievement on Xbox, is like extract while you're downed. And
Yeah.
like I got out. I almost died, but like I had all this cool stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. So I'm like, I'm going to test all these weapons out, and of course I go in, and then I lose it all. But that's the game, though, right? I mean, that's
the risk and
you're
reward.
borrowing. The game is a game of you're borrowing this, and you will lose it eventually. You will lose it eventually, and at the end of every season, they wipe everything anyway, and you start over. So like,
Yeah.
you're going to lose it anyway. So when people realize that and get over that, that kind of
I think for me, even with like Destiny 2 and stuff, it's like I play Destiny like I play a Contra game. Like I have to have, because of everything that's happening, I have to have like a assault rifle or something, or a machine gun. I gotta have something with a lot of bullets to do a lot of damage. Um,
I gotta have something with a
but
lot of bullets.
but when I'm playing something like Control, because it's like with Control, I could do a shotgun with that. Or if I'm doing Borderlands, I could do a shotgun with that because of the damage that it takes off. I don't feel. I think with Destiny, um, or just even Bungie games in total, even with the past Halo games, I'm just like, yeah, I gotta have something that has a lot of bullets, because some of these enemies and stuff feel like sponges, and right when I need to reload, somehow I'm getting hit, and there's no way to upgrade this gun to have more bullets where I need to hit them and everything. So it kind of depends on the FPS game, because definitely like Wolfenstein 2, dude, I had that shotgun and was murking folks in that mug, and it feels so good. I can't do it in Titanfall 2 though, because like the guns feel great in Titanfall 2, but like the assault rifles and stuff feel like the best to me. So it kind of really depends on what FPS game that you're playing.
Yeah, I've also like trained myself to learn how to play this game, right? It's not,
Mhm.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of like, it kind of reminds me of Destiny a little bit, of like, I have to like learn how to play this game if I want to play the game, essentially. But
Yes.
it like, man, I don't really know how to explain this game, because of it's just been a really fun, awesome experience, and I hope that more people get to try it, because it's definitely worth playing. So I hope people give it a try. I hope people um I hope people can look past the, like, again, it's hard. It's definitely hard, but I also hope that, like, looking,
Once you learn it, you'll understand it better.
yeah, and so like, it's just I don't know, there's just something about it, man, that I just can't stop thinking about. Um so that's kind of, that's all I got. It's just it's really a great video game, and
Mhm.
I hope people give it a chance, and I hope people can like look past the whole kind of what do you call it, like the whole extraction thing and like how hard it seems to be, because there is something really awesome there for people who want to play by themselves. It is better with people, don't get me wrong, it is, but at the same time it's like, man, there is something very special about this game. So
nice. And what about Disney Dreamlight Valley?
oh yeah, I have been playing that. There's a lot of let me tell you, Ed, a lot of great quality of life things in there.
No, Switch 2.
Yeah, like not just for Switch 2, but like the new update came out. The new season started. The Colors of the Wind season has started. So I'll give you a few guesses on what that is.
Pocahontas. Love that film.
Yeah, so like they added like when you craft stuff, you would have to like, you could save recipes, but you would like have to kind of remember what you needed, right? So like, okay, one iron fence with the brick bottom, right? Like the brick underlay or whatever. It costs like what, 3 bricks and 3 iron ingots or whatever they're called. I don't know how to say that word. I just say ingots. I don't say it at all. I actually just read it. But like you would have to like remember that, and then you would have to go craft 3 bricks, and you would have to craft 3 iron ingots or whatever they're called. Now, if I have enough resources to craft like all that, I can just go craft the piece of the fence that I need instead of crafting the bricks and crafting the, you know, the whatever they're called. And I can just go craft the fence instead with those pieces. And it's like, and then it now has a list of like, well, what do you want to craft? Do you want to craft a fence? Do you want to craft a chair? Do you want to craft a, you know, like it gives you like the little drop down menus instead of just having everything in a list, like literally everything in the game in a list and you having to search for it. Right.
Yes.
Now, granted, they do, before this, they did like, if you had the materials to make something, they did put the things you had materials to build at the top of the list. And if you didn't have enough, they would like gray it out or whatever at the bottom of the list. But like, it's still like, oh, well, I could craft like 75 different things right now, you know, and now I got to go search for the ones that I need. And then they add the update where like they added, oh, well, you need this item for a quest. So we're going to put this first and then the random items that you can, and then the things you can't. Right. But now the fact that you can like, dude, it's like that feature alone is like the best update they've done maybe ever.
Nice.
So I'm getting sucked back into it. I don't know if I really want to get sucked back into it right now because I'm enjoying my time playing like, you know, these classic games and other things. But like, boy, it's a between that and the Switch 2 update, man, it runs like, dude, it runs flawlessly. It's like 60 frames. I think it runs higher than 60 frames, I think, actually. I don't know 100% know for sure, but it like, and I also figured out why, because remember when I told you that everything just felt like so close together now? Was I talking to you about this? Was this
you
was talking about? Where like everything just feels, either the map got smaller or all the assets got bigger or something, because everything just feels so smushed together from when I had it laid out originally. Well, it's because they put all the things that the assets need back into it. Like the Switch version had cut, like, you know how developers like cut certain things or like, you know, remove certain textures or pieces to make the game fit on the Switch version? Well, that's what they did. Now, like the tree bark is there and like the leaves are really there instead of just like flat assets, and like, you know, like the trees are actually like 3D bark instead of just like a brown cylinder, and the grass actually has grass instead of a green texture, you know, like it's all like real video game stuff. You know, and like, so that's why like everything, and like everything just has more texture, and like more physical, like a more physical look to it instead of just like squares, or like polygonal texture. So like that's why. And like the effects that some of these things had were turned off on the Switch version, like little particle effects or lighting effects, or like the singing flowers from Alice in Wonderland that you can put around the thing. Like they now like they would just kind of like dance around, right? Like this.
Yes.
And you would hear the music come from them. Well, now they're like closing their eyes and like dance, like really dancing, and you can see their mouths like moving, like they're like blowing a horn or whatever. And like then you see the little music notes kind of float out of their mouths, and it's like, oh, well, this is this, So I'm really enjoying this time around. I'm trying I'm trying to space everything out now because like everything, I feel so claustrophobic.
We take pleasure in those kind of projects.
I mean, I do, but it's kind of annoying, but also it's like kind of
therapeutic.
It's annoying now because I kind of had my valley how I wanted it, and now everything is just bigger because the assets are the real assets now.
Mm-hmm.
So like now it's kind of annoying to like just have to spread everything out, but also like I'm like, okay, this is still fun to do this. But this is also why I don't get anything done. But hey, what do I know? So yeah, I'm playing that, and the Pocahontas event is going on right now. I don't know if I'm gonna buy the season pass or not. There's well, I guess it's not just Pocahontas. It's like it is Pocahontas theme, but it's also like I don't really know how to say what it's called, because like it's got like fairies and like Tinkerbell and like the fairies from those Tinkerbell movies that came out like 10 years ago, and all this kind of like foresty, naturey type of thing. I guess it would be like an Earth Day kind of event, I guess. Because like there's like within the season pass, there's also like a Moana costume and some like there's some Moana stuff. There's some like Lilo and Stitch stuff also. So I don't know. I guess I could just turn it on and look, but I don't want to risk doing that because then I'll get sucked in. But it's fine. But that's it for me.
Okay. So for me, everybody, I've been playing People of Note. This is a
that music RPG. Yeah.
Yes. Great tracks. Some funny dialogue here and there. I'm almost done with the game. It doesn't feel like it's too long. It feels like it may be like 20-25 hours for a first playthrough. I don't know if it has New Game Plus, but I am enjoying it. Of course, I'm doing my grinding. What's cool about it is that you could choose your battles to help you grind more. It automatically resets your health and your magic uses or abilities and stuff. And then you can power up your abilities for strong attacks. So I kind of got it where my main character, she has a strong ability to like hit a character for like over 100 damage. And then I have a character who could restore her BP, her beats per minute, which is the music turn, like kind of for her magic points and stuff. And like I could restore that and then keep once I get a chance again in my measure bar to use that attack, I could use it again. So I've been working on that, and it's been helping me defeat a lot of bosses and everything. And I'm playing on normal for it. So right now I'm just like getting closer to the end, and then I'll find out more of the story with it. But it's a really fun RPG, music RPG. I am enjoying it. Putting some time into it, and everything. It is, and it's kind of cool how they use some of the names and everything. But yeah, I do recommend it. I do recommend this game. I would say right now I would give it like 4 out of 5 Yoshi coins. For my um personal thing. Cause yeah, it is it's really good. It make it hard at sometimes if you are not a person who is used to um music rhythm games when you gotta like when it's coming in and you gotta hit it at the right time. But it does allow you to um use the time measurement um make sure that you get it correctly and everything. So if you need more time, you can slow the beats per minute down. Uh but if you want to make it faster, you can speed it up. You can set your own beats per minute. Um for or time signature, I'm sorry, your tempo as they're called. You could use that for it, which is pretty cool. From what I understand, that the enemies will never attack you first. You always get the first attack. Your
Mm,
party will always attack first. So every time you go into a battle, a random battle that you could choose, by pressing the X button. I'm playing on Switch 2. Um, you literally just go in and start the battle, and you'll have first dibs. And what's cool is that on your measure, depending on what color it is in the background for your measure, that character will be able to use a attack or special move and hit harder, where everybody else have their normal attacks. Um, so it's really, really cool. And then your mashups. Right now, the mashups are only for 2 characters. There's no 3 character or 4 character. It's between you and another character, um, that you choose, and you can mix it up, with it. And once you mix everything up, they'll do. Some will attack the characters, attack the enemies, and some will help the whole party, uh, and everything. So yeah, it's really, really cool.
nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I I've been playing a game, Ed, that I can't talk about yet, but I will share it with you after we're done recording because it feels like a game that's right up your alley.
Ah, okay.
We'll say it's from a 90s publisher that has returned.
Hmm.
I'll share with you
Oh, that
after.
which reminds me, I also Sigma Star Saga DX by
Oh, way forward.
Retro. I mean, wait for it. Yeah, I picked it up Thursday, so I started that. I'm enjoying that, playing that. And then Secret of Mana on the collection of Mana stuff. I am
Nice.
playing. I
Nice. Nice.
did download uh the 3 new games that came out for NES, but I haven't started any of them just yet.
Cool.
So yeah.
Nice.
And then hopefully I'll get into my Series X because um
Pragmatic comes out soon.
yeah,
So excited for that. Game looks great.
yeah, I'm doubling on
I'm definitely playing it on Switch too.
yeah, I'm doing Switch 2 and Series X for it. Series X I want the achievements, but I kinda wanna beat the game on Switch 2. It
That's
looks
fair.
so good. I think that game is gonna be a big IP. I have a feeling that thing is gonna sell 1,000,000 plus.
What, Pragmata?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's gonna do better than that.
Well, I'm just saying 1,000,000 plus because it's a new IP.
And
And since it
a
is
million plus doesn't keep you open anymore.
no, but I'm saying I kind of feel like when it's released, because it's gonna be on more, but it's gonna be on PC, PS5, Series X and S,
Mhm.
and Switch 2. Uh, I think all of those are gonna hit it like for like at least 1,000,000 on day one, and then go extra. so it could do past the million and everything. I should say a million plus because it's a new IP on multiple consoles and Switch 2 is included. So,
Yeah, I bet the Switch version will do well just because there's amiibo attached to it too, right? The Diana amiibo, which can you pre-order that out yet?
maybe, but I know it does.
I haven't seen the Resident Evil ones or the that one.
So the Resident Evil, yeah, they don't come out to the summer.
Right. But usually you can still pre-order them. I pre-ordered my Mario Galaxy ones in like August and they didn't come out till April.
It's a Capcom thing. Yeah, I really don't know. I think they'll announce it, or Nintendo of America will announce it on Twitter or something.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, because I would definitely like order from Best Buy and just pick it up or have it. Most likely, I'll probably have it shipped to me. That's been mostly the way for not Blockbuster, Best Buy. Just like, just ship the games to me because some of the stuff y'all not even carrying in the store. So I might as well just have it come to me on the day of release and then just play it when I get home from work or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, because I'm thinking of re-downloading Avowed because it has New Game Plus. And I kind of want to just like, I want to play it with my build, but I want to kind of do it with different weapons and see how that goes and everything. But play it like on easy so I could just run through the game and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but yeah, it's time. Well, how about we get into, or actually before we get into family news, Corey, you have any show and tell? I don't have anything.
I mean, I have my Woodman, but he's on the shelf over there, and I forgot to bring him over, and I don't feel like getting up to get him. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay,
I'll send you a picture later.
All right.
It's cool though. It's big. It's beefy.
Nice.
He's the biggest one. He's the biggest one by far. He was also $10 more than the other ones, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
The box was also bigger. It was a whole thing.
Which reminds me, I've been playing Mega Man 3, the Sega Genesis version. For it. That when Sega Genesis had the on the Sega channel. I was like, yeah. So, well, with that, everybody, it's time for family news. Corey, take it away.
All right, let's talk about some news. They say Monolith highlights Ganondorf's alluring charm in Tears of the Kingdom. So this came from an interview on their website. It was translated by various websites, including, you can read the whole thing on their website in English if you do the Google Translate thing. But it seems like Monolith is way more involved in Zelda than I think anybody kind of realized. First of all, they built a whole section of their website dedicated to their work on Zelda, so that was cool to see. But they're also talking about the story behind Ganondorf and how it came to be, and it's like, well, did they write this too? Like, so the interview, they were talking about Ganondorf. Ganondorf was more than just a villain this time, and that was very much by design. In a new interview, Monolith Soft shared how it approached character creation for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom with a special focus on Ganondorf. Instead of simply making him look powerful or evil, the team aimed to give him a mysterious and alluring presence, carefully refining details like his musculature and facial shading to capture that balance. The result is one of the most nuanced portrayals of the character since Ocarina of Time, showing a more layered take on the iconic villain. With Monolith also contributing to creature design and gameplay systems. And how do you feel about this more complex version of Ganondorf compared to past games? And how do you feel about Monolith of kind of essentially taking the lead on Zelda?
I kind of like it. With I like that Anuma and Nintendo, and hopefully Miyamoto is allowing them to do something different with Ganondorf, because we know that, you know, he comes back, you know, he gets resurrected or whatever, and then he needs Princess Zelda. Like it feels like Monolith Soft are trying to break that trope and do something like just different. And I love that it's just like we could go a different approach. We could add this kind of Japanese myth, or look and design and stuff. Because like Ganondorf and Tears of the Kingdom, like eh, Daddy Dorf and stuff, that as much as people don't like that name or and everything, you cannot deny that he has got mass appeal to him that made people really see him in a different way. And then with Monolith Soft taking this more open world approach, that's been their design, you know. Um and they've been know how to do it. So just in Nintendo, if there is an area that Nintendo does not know how to do just yet, that's why they use different partners and other studios that they have purchased, that they own, that's part of Nintendo. You know, they just so it's just like, well, we have Monolith Soft, who knows this open world and RPGs and action games and stuff like that. Why not have them help us make this game? You know, and
Mhm.
you can see the vast difference, like from the the NES to the Game Boy advanced versions of, the classic Zelda, and then you see from the N64 until to Twilight Princess, and you see, that design with Anuma, and everything. But now you got like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, like they'd had an idea of open world, but they didn't have this kind of vision of open world. They didn't have no experience of, but Monolith Soft does,
Mhm.
and for them to be able to mix the original NES Legend of Zelda with just the Zelda universe, they were able to build that world. So I think Monolith Soft has been a great fit for the series. And once again, having a different take on Ganondorf and everything, that it has really made that game be. And look, people started cosplaying as Ganondorf for Tears of the Kingdom. That made some people get into the gym and buff up and stuff.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the more intriguing versions of Ganondorf, right? I mean, to be fair, like out of in the 3D Zelda era, really the only version of Ganondorf that has a uh good story is the Ocarina Ganon, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Majora's Mask, he's not even in, right? Uh, Wind Waker, sure. Twilight Princess, it's about Zant and Midna, most of it, right? Like
Yeah.
Ganon is in it, but like, I mean, he's cool, right? Like when you get to fight him when he's the pig Ganon, the Twilight version of Ganon is cool, right? And Puppet Zelda is cool, but he doesn't really have like a meaningful impact on that story for the large part, you know.
Yeah.
And then Skyward Sword is it's all about what's his face, the white, the shiny white guy and demise. It's not even about Ganon.
The twink.
So I it's that's uh yeah, I mean, this
Yeah.
version, this is the first time we've gotten a Ganon story in a long time that's meaningful, right? In a 3D Zelda game.
And, and
Again, the 2D Zelda games, I'm not sure, but like, yeah.
and then the use of him of Age of Imprisonment, dude. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the Age of Imprisonment is actually probably the best Ganon story because it
yeah,
is about him, right? Like it's literally about Ganon. You know, the story is about Ganon and like his rise against the Zonai Empire, essentially, right? Like that's the whole story, and it was really cool.
It they gave Ganondorf a humanistic villain arc, or character, personality and stuff, because
Mhm,
like he is someone that does not play around, and that's
mhm,
when you be like, oh, I understand why y'all wrapped them up.
mhm.
And because of that design, not only did it allow Monolith Soft to like bring this character in the universe, it allowed Koei Tecmo to make a story around him and explain it. So it's just like you got two games out from one villain, one
Mhm.
main villain, and able to tell a story about this character in both games and flesh it out that way, which means more money for Nintendo.
Yeah. And it's really cool to see like um it's cool to see Nintendo actually like I don't know. I mean, they're not like known for being amazing storytellers, but it's really cool to
Hmm.
see them allow these other companies who seemingly, or at least internally know or think they know that they are good storytellers, and allow them to explore the IP in a meaningful way, right? Like, there's a lot of story in these games, and I'm glad that they took that step, to tell a good story.
Yeah.
Andre's in the chat. Hey, Andre.
Hi, Andre.
So, yeah, it's cool to see a really cool version of Ganon kind of get his due, right? Like, and it's not like you feel bad for him or anything, right? Like he's
Right.
the king of the Gerudo. Like he wants to be the king himself. Like, I mean, it's a total bad guy story. It's not like you know, I'm a bad guy, but I had good intentions sort of thing, right? Like he's just straight up villain, but there is a mystery about him, especially because like if you know the lore of the Gerudo, right? Like only one male is born every 100 years or something on
Yep.
average. So like, it's uh, there's even more of a mystique that way of like he's the Gerudo that was born, uh, and rises up and takes over, right? Because he wants more. So it's cool. I like it.
And don't forget, the Legend of Zelda series started off with Ganon, who's a pig. He's literally the main evil in
Hmm.
the whole series. He's supposed to be the main evil in the whole series.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed his story arc um in the game, and I'm excited to see that Monolith was the one that kind of pushed it, because I mean obviously Xenoblade is a huge series now, and um they aren't um small games. So
Yeah.
um but all right, Ed, I'm gonna read this next story and you're gonna answer it while I go pee.
Okay.
Capcom is or sorry, wrong one. Whoops. Level Five's Vision event happened, and they showcased a bunch of franchises with some release dates, some kind of release dates still hard to find. The Vision 2026 presentation highlighted a wide mix of projects, including new looks at Professor Layton in the New World of Steam, which looks amazing. Multiple Inazuma 11 titles and a remake of Snack World, alongside several mobile games like Fantasy Life I, Yokai Watch, The Great Detective, Nekomata, etc., etc. But there was a lineup uh, seems promising. A lot of the titles still remained in development, quote unquote, showing a cautious approach to past delays, because we already know that Professor Layton got delayed out of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And Fantasy Life I for Switch got delayed, and they've had some delays over the last year or so. So Level 5 seems to be confident in their lineup. Are we confident in their lineup? I mean, I think Level 5 is still a niche developer, but I think they do put out some really great games, right? Like I feel like Professor Layton is like, I can't wait for that to come back. Where's that collection?
Yeah. They know the coins are ready. They know the coins are ready for that. So, this is the thing about it. So for people who watch it, they are expanding these games to other platforms. Definitely with Professor Layton, it's coming to PlayStation 5 also. Um, I think this is good that they got to they're going to be putting these games on that platform, because for them with Level 5, I think they need more support and sales for their games. So I definitely think it's great that PlayStation and hopefully Xbox will also get these too, that they're expanding their games, because with them coming back and putting out games, a lot of people are ready to support more of Monolith Soft. Um, Definitely, with Professor Layton in the new world of Steam, we're still waiting on a date for that, but because that's going to be on PlayStation and on Switch 2 and Switch 1, uh, everybody's just waiting for the actual release. Deca Police is still in development, and we know that they ended the Switch 1 support for that. So they pretty much just moved it to the newest platform, probably because it's running better. They're able to put like more assets and spend more time developing it. So instead of developing it for two platforms, this is going to do it for one. With Snack World Reloaded, yeah, people who have played Snack World on Switch pretty much enjoyed it for what it is. I think the Switch 2 version is gonna be better. For I know I have it on Switch 1. So hopefully they have a free upgrade for it. I didn't get to watch the level 5 one. Everything it was shown, and by the time I got up to watch it, and it was already over and all the news was out. So I'll probably go back and watch it again, or get a chance to watch it. I'm surprised that Yokai Watch is actually back, because I know they got one game in Japan. I think it released in Japan for Yokai Watch, but it never came to America. And I think this is before Level 5 decided to release games in the US and everything, when they changed their business. But now that their finances, it looks like is back in order and it's good. It looks like that they could bring that game out. So I'm excited to see. I'm seeing that a lot of games that they are putting out is going to be for mobile. So uh, maybe that's a great way, definitely for Japan, because there is a lot of mobile gamers there. So with Puffing's Journey Through a Fantasy World, Yokai Watch, Fantasy Eye, The Girl Who Steals Time, and the Zuma 11 Cross coming out on mobile. I think they're trying to find ways to be like, hey, we just can't just be exclusive to Nintendo, even though there is money to be made there. Let's spread it out to these other platforms and make we keep our business going and stuff. Definitely with Professor Layton, um I think people gonna pick that game up, because this is the first time that it's been on another platform console wise. So this is gonna be the first PlayStation Professor Layton game, and people gonna buy it because they're gonna be like, not only do all of these puzzles, they're gonna try to like 100% platinum that game,
Which
because
is
there's
like,
a lot.
where's the collection? Like
Hmm.
that's an even bigger reason to put the collection on these on the current. consoles.
Yeah, because there's a lot of games Nintendo wise for Professor Layton. Um, DS and 3DS, you know.
Yeah.
And then you got like all that bonus stuff that came on Sundays for puzzles and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this stuff all looks good. Now, if we get a Nino Kuni 3 soon, that'd be great too. But
the update I need the update on Switch 2 for Nino Kuni.
yeah, I
2
mean,
at
it runs
least.
fine. I mean, it's the PS3 game. It's not like a, like a game that needs it, but
Mhm.
it would be cool. So, all right, Ed. Our next story: Capcom is teasing Okami's 20th anniversary celebration. Hopefully, it gets an update that makes the game good.
Shade.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding, everybody out there. Okami is
Still
turning 20.
shade.
I know. Okami is turning 20, and Capcom is getting ready to celebrate the beloved action adventure classic. Okami will hit its 20th anniversary on April 20th, 2026, marking 2 decades since its original PS2 release in Japan. While details are still under wraps, Capcom has confirmed a special anniversary event is in the works alongside new artwork featuring I always butcher Amaterasu and Isen. With the sequel already announced from Hideki Kamiya and Clover's, the future of Okami seems set. But what do you think we're going to see from this, Ed? You think we're going to see like a remake or a remaster or a upgrade or anything? Hopefully
I
a
think
Switch
we'll get
2 version that has
I
good controls.
oh, once again, shade. I think we'll definitely get Switch 2 port like version upgrade. Okamidon, the DS one, I
Uh-huh.
believe.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I think that's gonna get a Switch 2 and a Switch 1 port also. Or it may just come out for everything. I can see Capcom doing that. Surprisingly, I think they will bring out that mash smash not mash it's that smash style melee battle game that they had. I think it was Beautiful Joe. Okami was in it. I think it had some other characters in it. That may also come out because it didn't really, it came out, but like really people don't know about it or don't remember it and
Uh-huh.
stuff. I think we'll get definitely a trailer for Akami 2, like seeing more gameplay and maybe a date for that. And hopefully a demo. I definitely will see. Definitely will get a sale on that. I will be happy to do like a 50% sale. If they do like a Switch 2 version. But if they also do free upgrades for those who own it, that would be cool too. So, you know,
Uh-huh.
and I'd be surprised if Capcom be like, yeah, we got some extra content in this game. I'd be like, huh?
Uh-huh.
Mirror? So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, guess we'll see. So here's the thing. I wanted to like Okami a lot, and I do to an extent like it. I didn't love it. I didn't love it because I thought the controls were bad, and also the Switch version was not very well optimized. Um, and I don't know, man. It felt very obviously it's very of the era, but it just felt very of the era, and I wanted to. I just I don't know. I couldn't push myself through it. I wanted to. I really did, but
Mhm.
I just couldn't. So, um,
Maybe if they do a Switch 2 version or like Series X or PlayStation 5 version, um, they make the the words like the text stuff like faster, and you can skip stuff
I
to
mean,
make the game go
I don't
faster.
think it's even that. That honestly, I think I just felt like the controls were very um unoptimized for like it felt like when things would like I don't know. There was an issue with the camera too, right? Like you couldn't swap the inverted thing. You could like the camera was inverted both ways, like horizontal and
Hmm.
vertical. Um, and there was just I don't know. There was just issues with the Switch version, and maybe that's on me for playing the Switch version and not the $10 HD version on the Xbox. But um, you know, it's it is what it is, I guess. But
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, if there's a Switch 2 port of it, I will definitely give it another shot. It's just it just feels like one of those games that it's gone in my
it just does nothing for you.
it's just not happening for
Would
me.
it be something? Would it be something that you will watch somebody play at least?
Maybe. I mean, I visually I think it looks not nice to an extent. Again, it's like of the era and like it feels like one of those games that if you did like a full on remake, it would look incredible. Like that art
Hmm.
style would be amazing in like a really nice streamlined 4K. Let's make this for HD televisions instead of a 4:3 screen that most people are playing on, right? And like
Yes.
I feel like that game deserves a remake, not just an HD version, but like a full remake of like and in that art style and what you could do graphically with that game now. And I'm not saying like make it looks hyper realistic. I'm saying like, man, you can get a lot out of like paper textures and like you can do some really interesting. I mean, look at something like Neva, right? Um,
Oh
or
yes.
like what's something else that came out striking recently that I just looked at and I can't think off the top of my head. But like essentially like these games are, you know, incredible looking video games, and I feel like this is one that deserves to get that love too, in a more
It
meaningful
was
way.
it it was something ahead of his time art style wise. Um,
Well, I
and
mean, was it
everything.
though? Because Wind Waker, we already knew Wind Waker existed when it came out, right? So like it
Well,
was kind of
yeah,
taking
but
that like
but nobody. But it was a whole. Okami's a whole different art style than Wind Waker.
I know, but I meant like the art, like the different art style kind of. I know they're different art styles, but they in
Hmm.
terms of like categorizing games visually, they would be in like a similar category, like this is kind of like traditional artsy kind of animated sort of, and I know that Okami is like traditional Japanese kind of art, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
But it's not something that like it's not like Resident Evil, right? That was going for something like really realistic or like,
Yeah.
you know, at the time like Ratchet and Clank or Sly Cooper, which were going for like the animate like the Disney animated cartoon style thing, or it was just it's like its own thing. And I think a lot of people like to compare it to Zelda also. I remember, gosh, way back in the day, I think probably when it came to Wii, I think probably I think it was somebody, it was someone like old school IGN, like Marty Sleva or something, which is at Second Wind now, I think still, right?
Yeah.
Like he wrote a thing that said this is the best Zelda game Nintendo never made or whatever, and it was like this really. It's what got me interested in playing Okami, and then I just never played it until it came to Switch. Honestly, whoops. Um, but that's honestly what got me interested in playing it was that article, and so like I don't know, I think it's a game that probably deserves better than what the shake that I gave it, honestly. But like I think it also deserves a better remake or remaster, and I don't know if they will do that.
The thing with Okami is because it's ukiyo art. It's very Japanese. No other game or company has actually touched that style of art and made it into a game. Okami is, at this time that I know of, the only game that has done it. With Wind Waker, yes, it was going for that cell shaded look, but they were trying to make a Western style cartoon, same way as Jet Set Radio was. And when it came to the cell shading kind of graphic style, um, a lot of people, when it came to comparison, it was Jet Set Radio. And then Wind Waker, because it's such a well known popular franchise that people first clowned, but then fell in love with it and still feel like it's one of the best Zelda games of all time. They use that now as the foundation, or the comparison foundation, I should say, for cell shaded games, you know. And so it's kind of, to me, and just a personal thing, it's kind of hard to compare Wind Waker and Okami because, yes, they have that different style artistic look, but no one is doing what Akami has did when it came out stints compared to what Wind Waker has. And I'm not saying that people can't do a Wind Waker style game, because you can see like the style all in different games still to this very day, done by different companies, but mostly Japanese companies than American companies. So,
yep. Well, we talked a lot more about Okami on this episode than I think anybody cared for, but here we are. You know what I didn't think we were going to talk about? It was definitely not on my 2026 bingo card, Ed, was Guardians of the Galaxy coming to Switch 2. A better version of Guardians of the Galaxy on Nintendo's hardware might finally be on the way. A new rating suggests that Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, developed by Eidos Montreal, and came to Xbox One, PS4, and then later got Xbox Series and PS5 ports, could be coming to Switch 2 as a native release, potentially dropping the cloud version altogether from the original Switch debut. Developed by Eidos Montreal, the game was well received on other platforms, but struggled on Switch due to the streaming limitations. If this listing is accurate, Ed, it would follow the other titles like other third-party titles like Hitman, Resident Evil, etc., making its way to native versions instead of cloud versions. Could this finally be the version of the game we could be playing, Ed? Here's the thing. I loved this game when it came out. Like, I think that game was an incredible video game, whether you liked Guardians of the Galaxy or not. Because like, I'm not a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan of like the movies. They were fine to me. Like, I know a lot of people love them. I'm not a huge Guardians person, but that game was awesome. I loved that game.
I played the whole thing on Series X. No. Xbox One. Was it? It was on Xbox One, right? Yeah, it was on Xbox One.
Yeah. Game was awesome.
But I played it on, was it Slim, the white one?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. I played it on there and beat it there and just love it. Yeah, it gets a little bit repetitive and everything, but like, it's fun getting into those fights and stuff. So I think what's going to end up happening is that this game is going to come out for Switch, and then everybody's going to be talking about it, and then going to go back to play the games on the old systems. Or Series X and PS5, and they're gonna be like, okay, why is this game getting popular? Why everybody? Oh yeah,
good. It deserves. Man, that game was. It's one of the best story driven. If you want a single player campaign, that's great. And I'm not saying good. I'm saying great. In my opinion, I think it's it's one of the best games you're going to play in the single player space these days. They also developed Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the why can't I ever remember this? Uh, oh my gosh, I can think of the guy. It's like the Matrix, but not Adam Jensen. What is it called?
Um,
Oh my
from
gosh.
from Idis Montreal.
Yeah, not Thief. The other one, Deus Ex. Jeez. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Idiot. Oh, I'm an idiot, not you, me. Yeah, I that they just have an amazing game on their hands, and the fact that it didn't sell, and like they
and
were
I what was that one Marvel game that they ended up canceling? It came out, but it was just like,
the Avengers.
was that the one of the
I
Avengers
mean, the
one?
one that Crystal Dynamics developed was the Avengers,
Yeah,
so there's that one. Um,
because that one just like it got bad, or it got middling reviews. Like people didn't really care about it. Um,
I mean,
and because of
The Avengers was the live service one that they tried,
yeah,
which wasn't.
because
I mean, if you played it, when you play the story, you definitely know it was not supposed to be a live service game.
yeah. So it kind of felt like because of that game, Guardians of the Galaxy got affected by people's viewpoint or about it. So and people just passed on the game. So I think if they do bring the Switch 2, because the game has been on sale multiple times on
Well,
PlayStation and Xbox, and just people ignored it. I think with third party supporting Switch 2, I think people will be like, "Yeah, let me pick this up and give this a go."
mhm,
Um, and I think if that works, people are gonna be like, "Well, let me check the other versions and see how it goes."
mhm.
Um, and bam, and go from there.
Yeah, it's a great game. I hope it does well on the Switch 2 because it deserves to do well on the Switch 2. It deserves to do well on the other platforms too, and hopefully that gives it a boost.
Mhm.
Um, so I mean, not that I've looked at the sales for that game in a long time, but like I remember initially it was sales were soft, and that sucks. But you know what else sucks? 007 First Light on the Switch 2 has been delayed indefinitely, uh, skipping launch day for the other consoles. Uh, those who have been waiting for First Light on the Switch 2 need to wait a little bit longer because it has been delayed on Nintendo's console. IO Interactive confirmed on Twitter that it was probably going to come sometime in the summer instead of launching alongside PS5, Xbox, and PC versions on May 27th. No specific reason was given. The studio says it wants to deliver the best possible experience, especially after past issues with Hitman, World of Assassination on Switch 2. The delay adds to a growing list of pushed back Switch 2 titles and marks yet another setback for the game, which was already delayed once before. Uh, yeah, I don't know, man. I hope this game's worth it. I think it looks cool. I was going to play it on Switch too. I still probably am, but
Mhm.
uh, I mean, I just think the fact that it was delayed, this engine is still not optimized for the Switch 2, right? I mean, Hitman has had all kinds of troubles running on even now, like 8, 9, 10 months later after
Mhm.
after lunch, after launch, it still has all kinds of issues, right? Like it's just this engine is not optimized for mobile platforms, and that's fine, but then just don't release it there. You know what I mean? Like I'm all for all these games coming to Switch 2. I am because that's where I
Mhm.
want to play them specifically. But like if it doesn't run or your engine's not optimized or you haven't yet found a way to optimize your games for these new kind of handheld kind of powerful handhelds, like then just don't do it until you figure it out because and look, I'm
But
glad they delayed it. I really am glad they delayed it. I hope that this delay for them makes the game
Mhm.
run, right? Because like Hitman was not optimized, and Hitman was bad on Switch 2. It was bad.
So I don't think we may not see this game to this winter or to next year because every
Oh, it's
it's
coming out.
the
It's coming out
it's
before that.
no, that don't mean anything because I always have this feeling that when something gets mentioned for Nintendo and the delay comes and the Nintendo version gets affected, two things are happening. They're finishing the game up for the other systems, and so all work on the Nintendo version just stops. It's not they're not even gonna do it until they finish the other platforms, and then they're gonna spend 6 to 8 months or whatever to finish it, or it's gonna end up getting they're gonna probably I don't want to say it's gonna get canceled, but I think this game is gonna get delayed way past the summer, because once they finish patching and fixing whatever all the other systems gonna do, then they're gonna hop in into doing the Nintendo stuff, and we'll see it. And what's gonna end up happening is they're gonna be still be like, "Oh, here's the 2026 version announcement hold date," and then we'll just release it whatever. And we need more time, we'll let you know, and everything. I think once again, I'm like, just don't even my. I always continue to feel that if you're going to delay the Nintendo version, delay it for everything else because and work on it so that all the systems come out. Because right now, everybody, when this news came out, Capcom was making them look foolish. Because they were just like, so you mean to tell me, and even though Pragmata has been delayed to the infinite time, even though it's a new IP, you mean to tell me that Capcom could put their stuff out on multiple platforms, but you can't?
Well,
And I agree with you.
they're also
Oh, go
stuck
ahead.
in that hole from Build a Rocket Boy, right? Like that whole Mind's Eye debacle. Because they
Mhm.
publish like they need to make some money because they don't. I mean, this is their new game. Hitman has look as well as Hitman sold and as well as it did. Like they haven't had a new product out in like 4 years, five
Yeah.
years.
It
Like
it's
Mind's Eye was a bad, and we know how well like. Oh, we're going to try publishing, and then you get into a bad publishing deal, and that puts a lot of strain on companies. And
mhm.
so, like, I think you look at 007 and like they need to get that out on the platforms it works on instead of delaying it again to optimize it. They like
But then
because
but but
they need the money.
but then Nintendo players get the suffrage of,
You're right.
okay,
You're
it didn't sell. If it doesn't sell well on the other platforms, we're just going to outright get canceled. I mean, I mean, Borderlands 4 proves that. Borderlands 4 sold decent, but then they just ended up canceling the Switch 2 version.
well, it's not canceled. It's still delayed. But
No, they canceled it.
no,
They didn't delay.
they came out and said it was still in development. The
They end up
2K
cancel.
did.
Oh, I thought 2K said that they canceled it. The Borderlands 4 for Switch 2.
Well, they're still
They did
having
say
memory. There's having memory leaks.
with the with Rockstar.
No, the memory leak like in Borderlands 4 has a huge memory leak on other versions of the game where like it's not optimized and like things are just getting stuck. And if you play for long play sessions without restarting the game, it like freezes up or like assets don't load in or like certain things happen and
But
it's
they
so
patched all
broken.
of that.
They haven't. That's the problem. They haven't on some of the like the PS5 version is still
Uh-huh.
not fixed
Oh, is
apparently.
this an okay? Because I got the Series X version, and they've been putting out patches. I don't know about the PC version. I think the PC
Yeah, but are
version
you
did get
playing for
patched.
like 3, 4, 5 hours at a time?
Yes. Yes.
Um, because that's the problem. And like I don't know how many people would notice. I know a lot of PC people noticed also, but
Mhm.
um
because I didn't have crashing problems when I got it and played it on Series X. I think I just had some texture stuff and
Mhm.
and I had the slowdown issue. That's what I had, but I didn't have the crash issue. So when they were patching Borderlands 4 and like trying to get all of these hot fixes and everything out for it, I think at a time they announced the delay for Borderlands 4, and then it just like for Switch 2, and then they were just like, we're not even working on the Switch 2 version anymore and everything. So
Well,
it came out
this is on Nintendo Everything Today. Uh, a Reddit user came across a game keycard physical version of the game, which obviously, if you can print the key cards with just like the game unlock on it, and it
yeah.
like without the game being done, right? And because it's a digital game, but uh, the Switch recognizes the game. It says there like this game is not unlocked yet. You know, like when you pre-order a game and it preloads and you try to load it, right? You get that screen that said this game is not ready to be unlocked. Check back, later or whatever. Like it does that. Um, because I was like, I know this game's still in development, but there's physical copies floating around the regions where Peggy is the rating system, right? Like
Yeah.
it's still in development. And this
Yeah.
article was published today. So
Oh, yeah, because it's not Borderlands 4 is not even on Switch 2 on the eShop.
it says
Like
you may originally recall that the port was planned to release in October. However, it was delayed just a few days before release. Then in February, we heard development had been paused. And that brings us to the update today. A user on Reddit has shown pictures of Borderlands 4's Nintendo Switch 2 game keycard release. While the game is legitimately recognized by the system, there's no data to download. That makes sense since launch doesn't seem to be happening soon. Copies do come with a code for the Glided Glory Pack, whatever that is.
I think this the new DLC. I think.
Um, Perhaps it's a sign that Borderlands 4 will eventually launch on Switch 2 later this year. Are you still hoping to see this title on Nintendo's console? Let us know. Blah blah blah. I wonder if they're going to do like a re-reveal. And this is going to be part of maybe Nintendo's summer reveal plans or their summer reveal plans because
I think most likely it'll be like a definitive version. Because I'm like, I think the moment they took it off the eShop, I think that's why I felt like it was canceled to me. Because they're just like they stopped working on it, and then there has been no.
They also took Mina off of the store for a minute, and then they reposted it with a 2030 release date, which was funny. 2030.
Yeah, but I think with Mina, because we got to play the demo stuff. We knew that when Mina got taken off and stuff, or I think the pre-order link or something was taken off. They were Yacht Club was just like, we're still working on the game, so we got progress with Yacht Club showing it, and then when I believe the state of play is when we got the new update about the game. And they end up getting the demo and stuff and everything. So we knew that Mina was still coming.
Yeah. We also know that people at work at Yacht Club are not like the people that work at Gearbox, we'll say.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say there.
So it's like, but with like the 007 thing, it's just I'm not saying that I'm disappointed or anything, but I just feel like, oh, here we go again. Here go the Nintendo always get the bad news. And it don't and
But I think they also want it on Nintendo because I still think the nostalgia for GoldenEye is there, right? Or like at least for people like us, or like even if you grew up if you grew up with the GameCube, like even Agent Under Fire and Nightfire are like awesome 007 games in my opinion.
Yeah.
that franchise is so associated with Nintendo that like even it just feels it would feel wrong if that game didn't come over at some point.
Did Doom Eternal come to Switch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because that was after when
it was a digital only, and then limited run did the Switch physical version,
the physical version, and that was because like they were focusing definitely on PlayStation and Xbox, and then
well, they weren't doing the port internally. Panic Button was, right, and
Panic
like
Button, yeah,
they were building the game. Like from what I understand, how Panic Button was porting those games was like they literally had to wait until the game was like essentially done, and
complete,
because
yeah,
like the way that like the engine works is like they have to like you can't port it in chunks, or like you can't port section by section or whatever. You have to port it kind of like all at once,
all at
essentially.
once, yeah.
Which I know isn't the right terminology, developers who listen to this, but that's how I know how to explain it. So I'm sorry. I know your job is much harder than that. I'm just but it's yeah, and so that's why Doom Eternal was delayed, because they had to like essentially wait till the game was done,
Yeah,
and then they also ported the DLC for it, which was a nice surprise.
which I think we could understand definitely with COVID and everything, and I think we understood that because when we knew that it was still coming and they were working with Panic Button for the Switch version, we 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 were hoping that it will all release at one time, but because they delayed it and said that we're still working optimizing the game, we had um we had Animal Crossing. So I feel like Animal Crossing would have destroyed the Switch version of Doom Eternal on the day of release because at the time we were in, it was during COVID.
Mhm.
But at least we knew that if Panic Button got their hands on it and we seen Panic Button's work, we knew they were going to bring out at least something that was going to be good, at least reasonable on Switch 2. I mean, on Switch and everything, and like I said, Nintendo and Xbox still had a good relationship and everything. We had, once again, that trust factor in Panic Button that they are going to work hard and deliver something because Wolfenstein 2, regardless of what people say about it on Switch, that mug is awesome. They pulled that off on
Mhm.
Switch.
Yeah, but they
I
did a lot of things to make that game look
excuse
and
me.
feel good on the Switch, right? Like,
Yes. Yes.
so
So I think with this one, uh with this 007, it just feels like it's the same song and dance. We heard it a million times. We're not gonna see this game in the summer. We're gonna see this game later on in the year because when it comes to the summer, it's gonna be what was the Wii version of that Ubisoft game? Watch Dogs.
mhm.
It got delayed for the Wii U version,
10
but
months.
because of but because of all the bad press and everything, Watch Dogs was supposed to outdo Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, so bukus. It did numbers and everything.
To be fair,
It
I did play Watch Dogs on the Wii U, and let me tell you, it was it exists.
but but it came out on 360 and PS3, right? It was
Yeah,
Xbox
and
360.
those versions were also existed. Also, I think it was a classic scenario of Ubisoft games. The first iteration is a proof of concept, and the second game is much better.
Watch Dogs 2 is really
Yeah,
really
Watch
good.
Dogs 2 is like an amazing video game, but like then they changed it for 3 into like a totally different thing, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So,
So it really just. It's the same, like I said, it's the same Soga dance. We know for Nintendo, we're not going to get it until a later date. Uh, and like we're not brand new to this. We're like really used to it and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So it's they're hopefully they're gonna get good sales, hopefully good ratings on it. Um, and then once the patches and stuff come out, I feel like this game is not going to come out until the fall or the winter of this year, or it may not even come out until next year. So I was just like, if you're going to delay for Switch 2, just delay the game, get everything out for the other platforms, and then just make a definitive version for Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now you're wasting our time trying to, you're wasting our time
Well,
trying to expect
they're
your
not
game.
wasting my time. I got other games to play.
Well, I'm just using the people who are hoping for this game to come out in the summer. It's a waste of our time. We're waiting for your game to come, and it interferes with, Yoshi in a mysterious book. Um, maybe Fire Emblem Fortress Weave. Um, whatever our summer game plans is for Switch 2 for games, you're interfering it with us having to wait for your game to come out to enjoy. Yeah, we could play it on other platforms, but we want to play it on Switch and take it to go. Like we want to be able to experience it this. And then if there's other games that come out that we feel like is better and everything, then we're going to put our coins to what we want
Uh-huh.
and everything. And if you miss your window of opportunity, well, that's on y'all. Y'all made that decision.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, it doesn't bother me that it got delayed. I know that, like, it sucks to continue to be, a Nintendo fan and still have these
Mhm.
delays for games that are coming out on other platforms. But also, like, A, I want the best version of the game, and B, like, this is a title that doesn't really bother me that it got delayed because I already know what happened with Hitman. And so, like, and I know the stuff that's happening over at the studio with, they're getting out of that Build a Rocket Boy publishing deal, they're getting out of that Mind's Eye publishing deal, and like there's a lot of other things going on over there. So whatever. And also, like, if it's coming out during the summer, is it like a month delay, 2-month delay, 3-month delay? Like it just like, May 27th, like what if it comes out on June 27th instead, right? Like it's, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I've got plenty of other games to play, new and old. So like it just,
Right.
honestly, like I think the game looks awesome. I also don't know if I was going to buy it day one anyway, because, I don't know. I don't really care for Hitman, and I need to see more of this game in action to
Because
see if it's worth getting.
do we have a date for Forza Horizon 6?
I don't know, man.
Because I know the previews have came out and people who have played it have been enjoying it.
I think it's coming out soon, but I don't remember, honestly. Forza Horizon 6 release date. I think we do May 19th. So yes, it's coming out soon.
Okay. So that's before First Light comes out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It will feature 550 cars, and the premium edition players will get to play on May 15th.
I'll wait till the 19th. I'm good.
PlayStation 5 version is scheduled to follow later in the year.
Yeah.
All right, Ed. Speaking of Forza, let's shift gears into our last story.
Nice transition.
I know. Proud of myself. Shift Up acquires Shinji Mikame's new studio Unbound in a creative power move. Let's see. A major game creator has a new home and a new strong partner. The Korean studio Shift Up, best known for its action game Stellar Blade on the PlayStation 5 and PC, has acquired Unbound, the Tokyo-based team founded by none other than Shinji Mikami after he left Tango Gameworks. Unbound is around 50 people and was founded in 2023, is working on a new original game for console and PC. Shift Up now fully owns the studio and will publish the games. Will publish its games while allowing Mikami and the team to stay creatively independent. The partnership reflects a shared focus on quality and creativity, with plans on both smaller and experimental titles and a larger flagship project, while also helping Shift Up grow its global presence. We talked a little bit about this on the Boss Rush podcast the other night, but I think this is the first question I asked LaRon was, how many sexy zombie slayers are we going to get in this game?
Nah. Mikami knows how to make great games.
Mhm.
I think the thing with Mikami is that he keeps jumping everywhere. Like, he cannot, Capcom, Platinum, Unbound, get Tango Gameworks. It's just like he cannot stay in one place and do what he does best, and that's help direct and make games.
Yeah, I think.
You know,
I feel like his work at Tango, though, right? I mean, he was there for a long time. I mean, he made 2 Evil Within games, right? I mean,
was he one of the founders of
yeah, he
Tango
was.
Gameworks?
He was. And I think he left Tango because he didn't. It's very. And I know Tango was owned by Bethesda, right? But I feel like
Yeah.
the Microsoft purchase really felt dirty to him, like a lot of other executives over there. It feels like. I don't know if you saw the Pete Hines interview that came out.
No.
I will just say, go look it up, go read about it or watch it. But he was pretty much saying, like, once Microsoft purchased Bethesda, he's like, I knew I was out. Everything just became he used some words, so I'll let you go look those up.
Was it his latest interview?
It was something very recent.
I thought he would be on the hush hush enjoying vacation or something.
Dude, I mean, he's been gone for like 5 or 6 years at this point. So
not Pete Hines. I'm thinking of
are you thinking of the Activision people? Like Bobby Kotick?
No. Who just recently left Xbox, who retired?
Phil?
Phil Spencer. That's what I'm thinking of. But Pete Hines was at Bethesda. That's right.
He was like their marketing person. Like, he was their awesome marketing person. He was the person that I was like, man, he's going to take over. He's going to be head of Xbox marketing. But instead, he left, and now Aaron Greenberg,
because he was the face of Bethesda when it came to E3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we were tuned because they had one bad year, and then the following year after that, I think it might have been 2019 or maybe 18 or 19, when they just knocked it out the park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they started making these awesome games that didn't sell well, right? Like the Wolfenstein series didn't, like, it's an awesome series, but it didn't sell well. Doom 2016, like, it sold well, but like it had a much longer tail, which is how it ended up selling so much. And they were really climbing on the backs of Skyrim and Fallout. They had, everything else they put out was like, maybe this will work. Who knows? And then Arcane Dishonored definitely didn't sell well. Then and Prey didn't sell well.
And this was because this is when we started. I know we started getting worried about, because when not Platinum Games, Ninja Theory, when Ninja Theory got I think Ninja Theory got brought before Bethesda.
Oh yeah, by a lot. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we were shocked about that because I'm just like, oh, but we knew that Ninja Theory was an independent contract working studio, uh, and everything. They didn't get the chance to make their own game until Hellblade.
Hmm.
Um, but it was big news when Bethesda got brought, and they were just like, or ZeniMax, I should say. I was just like, wait a minute, ZeniMax should have coin because they made a lot of games
Well,
on PC.
I think they. I mean, they were struggling, but like not in the way that I think people think. Also, the what's his face who owned Bethesda was dying, right? So like,
Okay.
and he ended up passing away during the deal or shortly after or something. Um,
So you would think as a video game viewer, seeing Pete Hines that he would be the leader of ZeniMax,
you would think
or something. Because he was the face of
he was the smartest
like,
person in the room, and he wasn't afraid to let you know it. He was the guy, like
yeah,
aside from Todd Howard, he was the guy.
yeah. But it just felt like, you know, their well known titles, PC or whatever and everything. It really feels like after Skyrim, the assumption was that, they would continue to be a big company, but then that changed after Skyrim. Stuff started kind of falling apart because, like, Fallout 4 caused Rise of the Tomb Raider not to have good sales, but then Fallout 4 had problems. And it was
Yeah,
just like you started seeing the decline in Bethesda games, uh, and we console wise didn't understand that because we weren't dealing with Bethesda games like we were dealing with everybody else
well,
and
I
stuff.
think obviously, Fallout 4 came out like shortly after games like who were doing the Bethesda thing. You know, I mean, not 100% the Bethesda thing, but like the open
Hmm.
world kind of RPGs thing, like The Witcher had come out earlier that year, right? And Fallout came out after The Witcher and after Metal Gear Solid 5, and like those games were doing that open world exploration sort of thing better. And Fallout was stuck. I mean, it like, I don't know if it was a bad game, but it was definitely stuck in a time and place, right? That
Hmm.
other developers had figured out and moved on from. And, um, I think it's getting some second wind now because it's gotten an anniversary edition. It's come out on other platforms and all these other things. But like, yeah, it definitely was, Fallout 4 definitely hurt. And then 76 too. Like
Had all
we've
these problems.
I mean we've talked to Jeff Gardner multiple times about that on various shows here. So like you can listen to those, but like I mean obviously people seem to like it now, but like there it was there was a long time where people did not. So
Hmm. And I know Shift Up, with their, I believe, debut game with Stellar Blade. It,
it's not their first major console game, but they have
uh,
a long history of smaller games and mobile games.
Smaller games. Okay. Um, I, g- I apologize. I called it debut because I've never heard of them until Stellar Blade. You know,
I mean, I don't think
until
I mean a lot of people haven't. I mean, they are a Korean mobile PC
s- s-
studio, right? I mean, their
uh,
biggest game is a gotcha game. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a surprise people hadn't heard of them until Stellar Blade.
mhm.
Is what I'm saying.
So because I think everybody's expecting Stellar Blade 2 to come out, and everything.
And it's supposed to next year, supposedly.
Well, I feel like that'll get delayed. That'll take a while to come out. Uh,
I don't know. I think we'll see it sooner than people think we will. But
That would be shocking to be like, you mean your game that's been in development since was it PlayStation 5? The
Mhm.
first PlayStation 5 appearance. You know.
Um, I actually showed up at an Xbox press conference first as
Yeah.
Project Eve, and then PlayStation decided to publish it, and then it was like, never mind, not coming to Xbox, but it might come to Switch. Maybe.
um
Seems
because
like it is.
they changed the whole character design they still got the E3 trailer up showing all the sisters and stuff and everything.
Yeah.
But it's and I don't know if that series is an exclusive deal to PlayStation. And I'm assuming
So
release
PlayStation
wise.
published it, but I don't know if they have like a deal like the way that Death Stranding does, where it's like a timed
Yeah.
exclusive, but PlayStation published it on PlayStation, but 505 published that game on
hmm
uh
PC
PC.
and
So
Xbox.
yeah, so
Because
who
I'm
knows?
assuming this year, maybe at some time, I feel like at Xbox Showcase,
Hmm.
I feel like Death Stranding 2 will be shown.
It won't. It wasn't shown on Xbox at all. It just shadow dropped the 5 years to the day after. uh
Oh, was it that long?
5 years, yeah.
When did it hit PC?
Like six
Around the
months
same
after, I
time?
think. 6 months after, I think. Maybe a year
Hmm.
after. But
Because Death Stranding 2 is on PC or
yeah.
not yet?
Yeah, it either just came out or is coming out soon.
Because I think someone was showing it on like it's Steam Deck verified. I think they said.
Hmm.
Okay. So, um, hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess good for them. Um, that
Sure.
they were able to make enough money to buy Mikami's studio.
Yeah, but a
Uh,
15 or a 50-person Japanese studio is not that expensive in my opinion. It's because they don't get paid nearly as much as like Western developers. They
mhm.
don't have to provide insurance because they have universal health care. Um, there's a lot of factors that they don't have to consider that many studios here in the United States have to consider. And so
Yeah.
that makes it a lot cheaper for them. But still, I mean, it's I'm sure Shinji Mikami himself is not a cheap person to buy out. So,
Oh no.
but that's all we got for news, Ed. That's
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of
Oh,
snuck that last one in there. I know I did, but it was
oh, I know I mentioned Rockstar we was talking about earlier because there was something about they got hacked, I think. Um,
um yeah, I don't know. I didn't really
because
look
they was
and I
like they
don't really care, but
yeah, they was just like they need to pay a ransom before April 14th. I don't know if that's true or not. I just kind of seen it on Twitter.
hmm.
So I don't have much information. What that has to deal with Nintendo, um, we cover what we can. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean if it we'll if people want us to talk about it, we can talk about it next week, but I don't really it's not really that relevant to our show, I don't think. Unless they surprise us and say GTA is coming, but I doubt it
Um,
at
I
this point.
know,
Maybe they it is. I don't know. I know they
did
fired.
you
I know they laid off their entire AI team.
who?
Take Two,
Oh, did not know that.
including their head of AI. So yeah, they're
That's
gone. They're done
when did they do that? Just recently?
last week,
Ooh.
earlier this week, maybe. Yeah.
Uh, I know that, I don't know if you've seen this, Corey. Splatoon Raiders and Fire Emblem Fortress Weave, reportedly been spotted on Nintendo European's web pages for new ratings. Um,
Yeah, but ratings and release dates are different.
Yeah,
I mean, those games are technically on Nintendo of America's website too, but
but I think with them officially getting ratings from Europe, they will probably think that this new information is going to be coming out, so
I'm
people might
sure.
be probably going to be checking like the Nintendo
Open your
app.
Nintendo Today app, guys, because we're apparently not doing directs anymore. Not like we have a whole show based around it or anything.
Right. I need a
Check out the
Nintendo
direct recap
Direct.
show soon after every Nintendo Direct.
Yes. But I need a Nintendo Direct for these games.
We need a Nintendo Direct yesterday.
In general.
Dude, I wish they would do one every month.
Ooh.
I would take one. I would take one every month. Do it. Do it. Oh, anyways, let's move on, Ed, to Packwatch.
Yes. Packwatch.
All right, these are the games you can buy on your Nintendo Switch or Switch 2 this week. Before I Go is coming out. We got a slew of games coming out on the 14th. So the next like 4 or 5 titles are coming out on the 14th. So what is that, Tuesday? So these are going to be out by the time you hear this on podcast services.
Mm-hmm.
Before I Go is 1999. Explore the haunting dreamlight fantasy world of Before I Go, a punishing Metroidvania where you embody the innocence of an inner child on an allegorical odyssey towards death acceptance. The end is inevitable, but will you brave the journey? This game looks really cool. And I don't know if you watched the trailer for it. This game looks really awesome.
I see it on the eShop.
Looks awesome.
I may have to look up the trailer. They don't have one on the eShop. But go ahead.
Also on the 14th, Dosa Divas. This game also looks awesome. Battle an evil fast food empire in this spicy narrative turn-based RPG. Two sisters and their upgradable spirit mech cook delicious meals, fight corpos, build up your reputation with local communities, and reconcile with loved ones. That game looks really cool too. Spica Adventure is 1999. From the arcade legends Taito, experience the formerly Japan exclusive 2D action jump and run filled with charm and cartoonish delight on modern consoles for the very first time.
This thing looks like buggers.
This game,
the Speak Adventure.
I mean, these next 2 games had your name written all over them, in my opinion, but it also says Taito on it, so I was like, yeah, it's going to play them. Reminiscent of the parasol from Parasol Stars Bubble Bobble 3, this yellow parasol will become your favorite accessory and best weapon. Use it to take down a wild mix of enemies that come straight out of a toy box.
Oh.
I feel like that's for the next one. Anyways, Parasol Superstars, $24.99. In this critically acclaimed Taito classic, available on modern platforms for the first time, the now transformed Bubby and Bobby embark on a mission to save their neighboring planets. But this time, instead of blowing bubbles, our favorite duo swings colorful parasols filled with magical powers.
Okay, this is bunkers in a sense.
Both these games are weird.
No, because the Parasol Superstars, if you look on the eShop, they got the Speaker Adventure pictures on there too. I'm like, wait a minute, this is not.
I wonder if this is some sort of bundle, but you can also buy them separately somewhere at some point, maybe.
It looks like. Hold on, it looks like it.
I'm gonna move on.
It is a bundle. Yeah.
Okay. A Storied Life Tabitha is coming out. It is $14.99 USD. A wholesome narrative puzzle game about objects we leave behind and the stories they tell. Complete a loved one's damaged memoirs by exploring their home and packing away their things.
This feels like,
Sounds like
sorry,
unboxing,
Corey.
but sad.
It feels like a game
Unpacking,
straight for me.
unboxing, unpacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the game. Unpacking. Pangillo is $4.99. A chill world of puzzling challenges awaits Pangillo, a physics-driven platformer where you're firing bouncy penguins through charming winter landscapes across 50 levels, collecting stars and grab the key to unlock the exit, mastering precision launches to escape every frosty challenge. Bounce your penguin at least once and you'll even be able to change directions mid-air, slowing down time and re-aiming to hit the target to avoid pitfalls like spike traps. Enjoy cozy and casual brain-teasing gameplay at your own pace, all accompanied by a mellow soundtrack. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is coming out. This is $59.99 USD on the Nintendo Switch. Become the caretaker of an island full of silliness, drama, love, and other surprises. Absurd situations await you as you populate your island with me characters based on yourself, family, friends, or original creations. Get to know them, design the world for them to explore, and watch them come to life in Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream game for the Nintendo Switch system.
Can I tell you that people are still invested in the drama?
I know.
When it was doing the direct.
I mean, you saw, I don't know if you saw this or not. Last week,
They
Laurana
did
and I
a
talked
new
about
trailer.
them. No, Laurana talked about how people heard this. They started cussing in the demo or something.
Ooh.
So I can't remember if it was on Boss Rush or if it was that week that Laurana was on here, but it was funny. So on the 16th, Mouse PI for Hire is coming out.
A lot of people was excited for this game.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited for this. Join private investigator Jack Pepper on a guns-blazing, jazz-fueled adventure in Mouse PI for Hire. Mouse combines the charm of hand-drawn rubber hose animation inspired by the classic cartoons of the 1930s with the adrenaline and action of an explosive first-person shooter. A lot of people excited for that. I'm surprised it's only $29.99 also. I've figured it would be like $39.99 at least.
Is this just only digital?
Yeah.
I wonder. Okay, so no physical for it.
No, not yet at least. This feels like a physical run. Or a limited run physical at some point. Under Par Golf Architect is $19.99. Step into the shoes of a golf architect as you build and manage your own golfing paradise. Sharpen your strategy by designing incredible courses to challenge the most demanding golfers and watch your club flourish as you attract VIP players, hire quirky staff, and hold prestigious tournaments.
Okay. Sorry, Corey. The Mouse PI for Howard edition, it is getting a physical for July 10th.
Okay, well, there you have it.
Yeah, I guess you could on their website, the people who made the game said the physical standard edition will be available PS5 at $29 and then $39.99 for the Switch 2 gamer cartridge. And then they have a deluxe version. And the Switch one is $59.99.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you have it, everybody. Let's see here. On 416 still, we have Null Star Solus, which is $9.99. Be faster. Take on the role of Corporal Scav drone pilot, tasked with tearing through the decaying corpse of a world to salvage the remains of a powerful energy source. Master flight through hostile environments and deadly security measures in 100 precision platforming levels. Death by Scrolling is coming out on the 16th. This game looks kind of funny a little bit. Welcome to Purgatory Inc. Now under new management, Death by Scrolling is an action game where you kill enemies, collect gold, and avoid the Reaper long enough to pay the ferryman's exorbitant river crossing fee to the afterlife. Smash It Wild It comes out on the 16th. Smash It WoW is a tactical turn-based game combining volleyball and dodgeball in a fantasy universe. Upgrade your players and defeat your opponents in this intense roguelike competition. The Day I Became a Bird comes out on the 16th for $19.99. Join Frank, an awkward young boy, as he discovers newfound feelings for his classmate Sylvia, who only has eyes for birds. Explore, collect, and solve puzzles as Frank attempts to catch her attention with a homespun feathery transformation in this warm and nostalgic return to childhood. On the 17th, Capcom's Pragmata comes out.
Yes.
On the Switch, it is $59.99 for the regular edition and $69.99 for the deluxe edition. Pragmata is a unique sci-fi action-adventure game from Capcom. Follow Hugh, a member of the ill-fated investigation team, and Diana, a young android, as they navigate a lunar facility taken over by a rogue AI in search of a way to Earth. Last but not least, on 4/17, Knights and Guns Comprehensive Edition is coming out for $27.99. It's been out, but I think this includes most of, if not all of, the DLC that has come out. It's an action-packed 2D shooter where knights don't just joust, they blast. Journey into a world where medieval bravery meets heavy-duty firepower. Battle monsters, venture through thrilling stages, and be a knight that makes ghouls say, "Oh no, not the shotgun." It's the old-school arcade fun with a bang. Here are your weekly updates on games you could be playing on Switch and Switch 2. Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 update 22.1.0 is a small patch focused on general system stability improvements to smooth out performance after the last month's major update. Hello Yoshi has launched on Western Switch eShops for free.
I have it.
This child-focused interactive app is where players can stretch, poke, and play with Yoshi's cartoon face in simple mini activities. Hello Mario, if everybody remembers, came out 2 months ago at this point, and it's kind of the same thing but with Yoshi. So Mario Kart World has received a 1.6.1 update, a small patch from Nintendo that fixes rare speed boost issues and a multiplayer crash when switching between play modes. Pokemon Pokopia has been updated to version 1.0.3 on Switch 2, adding multiple bug fixes and gameplay improvements to address progression and stability issues while improving overall playability. F-Zero 99 has received an update 1.7.1. I didn't even know this game was still getting updates.
Exactly.
To be fair, I forgot F-Zero 99 existed also, so... Fixing reward leaderboard and elite point issues to improve overall stability and progression tracking. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined has received a new update for Switch and Switch 2 that fixes progression blocking bugs, including issues with key story checkpoints and missing required items. Assassin's Creed Shadows has received update 1.1.10 on Switch 2, adding mouse and keyboard support alongside a wide range of bug fixes, gameplay adjustments, and stability improvements.
So I need to pick that up for Switch 2.
The Rogue Prince of Persia is getting a Switch 1 and Switch 2 physical release, standard and collector's editions, but the Switch 2 version will use a game key card. So if you want that game on cart, you got to get the Switch 1 version. I think the upgrade path is free though, so like you can get the Switch 1 version and then just download the Switch 2 upgrade path.
Yeah.
So
if I was going to do it, I'll just go ahead and get the game key card. That's the same thing.
Not according to the internet, Edward.
Pokemon Pokopia says different.
Supergiant Games will release a new update for Hades 2 on April 14th, adding bonus content and quality of life improvements alongside its Xbox and PlayStation 5 launch. No Man's Sky has launched its Xeno Arena update, adding Pokemon-style creature catching, training, and battles where players can capture and fight alien creatures in arenas across the galaxy. And last but not least, System Shock Remake has received a Switch 2 demo following a major performance update, letting players try the improved version that now runs smoother at higher resolutions and better frame rates. Nintendo Switch Online, Ed, we have new NES games. And one of them
Yes.
is formerly a Japanese-only game. So, Pac-Man, the NES version of Pac-Man is coming.
Can I tell you before you go on, Corey? That was my first third-party video game when I got my NES for Christmas.
Well, I played Pac-Man on the Atari, and let me tell you,
I did too.
that was an experience.
The blue and yellow screen.
Something. Mendel Palace and the Tower of Dragua, which is the Japan-only game, I think.
Yeah, I never played that one or heard of it.
So you can look forward to those NES games. And then Nintendo Music added more tracks from Splatoon 3 and the soundtrack to Hotel Mario. So that's fun.
I didn't even know they updated that. I'm at to listen to Hotel Mario. I remember seeing it in my EGMs, but never heard the music for the game.
Yeah. It's about time we drop another GameCube game. Nintendo, come on. There's plenty of them. Top.
Yes. Me. Skies of Arcadia, please. Legends.
Something like that. All right, Ed. Let's moving this because it's in the wrong spot. Nobody will notice, but I will. Let's go into question block, Ed.
Question block.
Remember, you can always submit your questions to the podcast on social media, in our Discord, in the comments on YouTube, or you can click the link in the description to our email address and email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. Just like TRunaz316 did via email. Hey, Eddie V, Corey, and fellow Elite Block agents. Do you think Nintendo should start to lean harder into more mature storytelling, or should they keep most of their focus on all ages experiences? Thanks for the amazing podcast and all you do for us Elite Block agents.
So, I think they're going to. I think they should keep it diverse for everybody. And I'm not saying that Nintendo shouldn't lean into more mature storytelling. But when you got like the latest Famicom detective game, that's something that people should be able to look into. They could work with third party to bring in mature stuff or create games for Nintendo with mature themes and storytelling. In those games, I think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a great one. Even though that game is teen, it deals with a lot of things that's not very tropey for RPGs. It's something that has a really strong narrative, and then when you do the side quests, you learn more about that narrative or those plot points. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is kind of like the Final Fantasy 7 on PlayStation 1 mentality of not telling anyone about the story, because if you tell them and before them experience it for themselves, it's going to ruin the experience and stuff. And that thing, and the way that Nintendo does that, Monolith Soft does that, they do it in a great way where you'll be like caught off guard and be like, Nintendo allowed them to do this? Yes. And stuff. But I think Nintendo is just like, yeah, they love story and everything, but it's about that tight gameplay and that level design. They want what you play so memorable, that it touches you in a sense. And they could do it for just anybody and everything. I think what gamers have to realize is that even though stuff may be teen or mature and everything, the story has to impact you to where it's memorable, that you talk about it with other people and tell them about how impactful that is. and everything from that experience. Because if you go by graphics and gameplay and moments that you did and not tell about story, it wouldn't even matter if it was mature or for all ages if you don't remember what this narrative is. And Nintendo is good at narrative, but people love Nintendo for their IP and for what kind of gameplay they could get out of it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If Nintendo did go into story and they have games with great story, more people as gamers need to talk about that. So they have games out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we hope Super Metroid 3 or Super Metroid up, because it was able to tell a game through visuals. It didn't need cinematics. It didn't need words. You seen everything visual. That's why games like Greed and Never is something that I love. Even Spider Lily, what I played at PAX East um, this year, was telling a narrative through visuals. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I think Nintendo should keep it open for just everybody, and be able to tell the story in a way that they want to tell it. But we as players have to be willing to go into that game to play the story, understand what that story is, and talk about it with others who are playing that game, who are about narrative and stuff, because that's going to make the story memorable and more impactful. And it's
Mm-hmm.
great for you as a gamer because now you have something in your repertoire and in your library that has a meaning than just gameplay and graphics.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah. I mean, for me, I think like you look at, like you said, you look at Xenoblade. I think you look at the recent Zelda games. I think you look at, even Nintendo publishing certain things that like maybe it's not storytelling, but it's definitely not quote unquote all ages focused, like Bayonetta, or even what they tried with like Devil's Third, or even back in the day with like, you know, Eternal Darkness, or various other
Mhm.
things. I think that Nintendo though has always been a gameplay first company, and I think we're just starting to see them expand into like telling bigger and better stories in their games. Not that they haven't before, but they haven't been very deep, I guess, is what we're saying. And I think that um you look at stuff like Zelda and Xenoblade and you're like, oh well, Nintendo can tell stories. Or you look at, you know, uh some other things that they're doing, it's like, oh yeah, Nintendo can do these things. And it's like, yeah, they do. They've always just focused on the games being fun to play first, and that means something. That's why they've been around for, you know, so many years making games, and why their IPs, stand the test of time, essentially, right? Like,
Mhm.
um, so yeah, I mean, again, I think they're gonna tell stories, right? I mean, even Fire Emblem, like you can, telling your own stories through those games is part of the fun
Yeah.
now, right? Like, um, are we ever going to get like an Uncharted or a Last of Us or a Gears of War out of them? No, but like, I don't care. That's not what I play Nintendo for, right? That's not what I go to Nintendo for. I feel like a lot of teams have and developers have built up certain expectations for their studios, and for us, Nintendo has just given us fun for so long. Um, but anything could happen. I think Nintendo can do whatever they want and people will show up,
Mhm.
and that's part of what makes them great at this point. Um, so I don't know. They made a theme park, dude. So, uh, what do I know? But all right. Let's move on to the next question. Chris H on Twitter says, "Hey guys, long time listener. I love the podcast and it gets me through multiple commutes a week. Love the long podcast for sure.
I think last week the 4.5 or close to 4.5 hours was our longest. So,
Here's
Chris,
the thing. I don't think it was. um,
so Chris, I hope that was a good one for you.
what is your favorite underrated Nintendo game from the GameCube era that deserves a comeback for Switch 2? Man, I feel like a lot of the good GameCube games have already been remade, except for the 2 Zelda games we all want. I mean, even Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles got one remake.
So I know Corey's gonna get me on this one, but
Gosh.
Odama.
Oh my gosh.
and the reason why I say Odama because someone brought the picture up on Twitter, and at the end, I didn't play the game, but I remember it was such a odd game from Sega to be on the GameCube that it was just like, hold on, a strategy pinball war game. That was Sega in this bunker years. And they still in their kind of bunker years. But I think that one. And then what's the platform with the child with the rooster?
Billy
Goodness.
Hatcher, the Sega game?
Billy Hatcher. Yeah, I'm so bad with remembering the games. I'm sorry. Billy Hatcher is such an amazing game. What'd you say?
You're getting old.
Yeah, 46. So
it's too old.
Yeah,
it's time to
no, I can't do that just yet. But Billy Hatcher definitely is an underrated one. Also, on Switch 2. I mean, on GameCube. Can't say Tales of Symphonia now because it's been re-released. But
I mean, a lot of games have been, right? I mean, like,
I know.
So I'm gonna have a couple here. So I think one, well, it's actually a series. I think all 3 of them should be re-released with the Rogue Squadron games.
Yeah. The first one is so good.
The second one is amazing. The first GameCube one is amazing.
Yes.
I think
Soul Calibur
definitely
2. Well, no,
it's already on. It's already been re-released like 3 times. It just doesn't have Link in it, except for the GameCube one.
But I was. It said underrated, and like Soul Calibur 2 is not underrated for GameCube. I forgot.
Yeah, it's the one everybody wanted. And I know it's not severely underrated, but it hasn't been re-released except for that weird PS3 HD trilogy, the Prince of Persia trilogy that was released during that time.
Warriors Within is the second one.
Yep, and then Two Thrones was
that whole trilogy. I would love to see that whole trilogy to come back.
Yeah, I would love to see it. Just give me that. So it got a weird HD trilogy on PS3. And never, showed up again. I was also thinking about Tomb Raider Legend, but that's coming back. It's inevitable that those games are coming back too. That Tomb Raider trilogy, the Legend trilogy, which is Legend, Anniversary, and Underworld. Although I don't know if we'll get Anniversary now that we're getting that full remake. So we might.
But the full remake is only for PlayStation, Xbox. I don't think we're getting Switch 2 yet.
It will.
Especially if
gotta believe that. Gotta believe.
Look, I want my Rise and I want my Switch 2 first. I'm willing to give coin.
Gotta believe.
Who do I even give coin to for those games now?
Who knows?
I think Aspire released Tomb Raider, right?
Aspire is doing the trilogies. I think Aspire did the
one that just came out, the modern one. Yeah. So if they do Rise in Shadow,
Ed just slips him a Benjamin under the door.
Come on, yes, I tried to bring this out.
Give it to me early. Come on.
And then be like limited run. Here's more money if y'all give me these 3 on cards.
So funny. Those would be my picks, I think. So, let's see here. Amanda K writes in again and says, Hey, my Block boys. Hope you are having a great week, and I hope you had a great time at PAX, Eddie.
I did. Thank you, Amanda.
My question is this. What retro game console library do you think holds up best today? And which one would you recommend for younger players discovering for the first time? Thanks,
So
boys.
the one that holds up, and I'm discontinuing Switch in this one.
It's not retro yet, Ed.
Not retro yet. I know.
Stop it.
But I'm going to say GameCube holds the best, and I will recommend players literally to play. I was going to say Super Nintendo, but play the NES. Retro library. Due to the fact that I think you need a foundation of a lot of Nintendo games and what it has, before you see the evolution and stuff. I think you need to understand a lot of the history and foundation of these games from Nintendo themselves. Seeing why Super Mario Brothers 2 came out different than Super Mario Brothers 1, and then see why the wizard was important to understand why we wanted Super Mario Brothers 3. To understand Metroid and The Legend of Zelda by not having no guides and stuff, to understand exploration with that. To understand Excitebike being like Nintendo's own first racing game, and creating tracks, why that kind of mode was important in games. To understand why Punch Out in this history, it has an arcade game, but the NES version is different, and reading on the history of how Mike Tyson end up getting involved. There's so much history with a lot of those Nintendo games, the first one, and most of them are on NES that people could play online. um I think you really need to play those games to understand a lot of that history. And then there's just some Nintendo games um that a lot of people just don't know and everything. Some of the stuff that Rare made on it. Uh, you know, uh they don't have the alley one um on NES Online. But yeah, there's some IPs that's just on the platform that only got one game. Clu Clu Land, Volleyball, Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong Mad, Kid Icarus, like Wrecking Crew, on while having Rob on there and everything. Like there's so much on just the NES that's online, and it's more available on it for people to play. And if they're having a difficult time, they need to go back and rewind. Then they can understand why the Legend of Zelda 2 is such a bunkers game. Um, why we still, stand with it. And also for people to understand um why we have characters in Smash. They even got the original Mario Brothers. Now I will say this, the NES Mario Brothers is different than the Atari Mario Brothers, because that's where I played Mario Brothers at, was Atari. Super Mario Brothers on the NES was my first uh platforming version of the Mario games. And then pro wrestling and stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff on NES uh with Nintendo that people could get in and play and stuff. And then if you get a chance, look at the Nintendo Power first magazine where they did Super Mario Bros. 2, but it's in clay for the cover.
Mm-hmm. They did it for the final issue too, just to send it off.
Oh yeah.
I have that somewhere. Yeah, I have the poster hanging up over there that came with it. 1988 to 2012, Nintendo Power. RIP
Nice.
Nintendo Power. Okay. Our next question. Oh, I guess I didn't give my answer. Yeah, I mean, the NES is like over the years I've thought a lot about this, especially like with my kids learning how to play different games now and stuff, and I'm like, I probably should have started them with like easier controllers and having them learn how to move within different types of spaces. And you know,
Mhm.
we did have that conversation about Mario Maker and about making like easy levels and like teaching them how to do different things within those levels, but I
Yeah.
never got around to doing that because it's too hard and too time consuming. It's not hard, it's just time consuming, and like I don't have the time to do that, right? But like, um, you know, I think things like that definitely going back to the beginning, right, is definitely a nice idea and a nice way to go. But also, like, kids are going to want to play games that they want to play, right? I mean, that's why licensed games still sell so well, right?
Mhm.
I mean, the kids, my kids, like, they love that. They love the Bluey game. They love like the Paw Patrol games. They love, you know, my daughter loves watching me play Disney Dreamlight Valley. Like the IPs that they love, you know, are they want to play the games of the IPs that they love, and that's why it's so like important for. And not to make this about the Mario movie or anything, but that's why it's so important that the Mario movie was good, right? And like the Mario Galaxy movie is good because like people kids want IP everywhere. They don't want it just stuck to one entertainment platform now, right? They want it everywhere. They want I mean, Fortnite did the same thing, right? Where they brought IPs from a bunch of other mediums and brought them into this game that everybody plays, right? And that's what they did so
Yes.
well. And granted, it they could only do that because they were popular in the first place. But it's why that game has lived on so long is because of what they can do with different IPs and Disney investing in them, right? And like, uh, you know, rumors of like that Disney wants to even buy Epic at this point now, right? Like that rumor is floating around. And you know, it's so important that the Mario movie was good. It's important that they reintroduced Star Fox and that Fox McCloud was cool in that movie, right? Like, uh, it's just important. IP is important, and I think learning where this IP has come from and how far it's come is also really important. And maybe they
Mhm.
won't appreciate that until they're older, but I think they will appreciate it eventually. And also, those games are like, yes, they're harder in a lot of ways, but they're also like a lot easier conceptually to understand. Like Mario, you run left to right and you jump over stuff. Okay.
Yes.
But starting them on like Mario 64 or Mario Sunshine or Mario Galaxy with all these complex 3D environments and controls and you know, like half the time in Mario Galaxy you're running upside down and like left is right and right is left because you're upside down. It's like ugh, gives me a headache just thinking about it. But like you conceptually, you think about Super Mario Brothers, it's like, oh, okay, I'd go from left to right. I collect coins, I get mushrooms, I get big, I get a fire flower, and like, oh, if I press both buttons at the same time, if I press the B button while I'm, you know, I can run and it's those sorts of things. So,
Yeah.
all right, next question. Liam writes in. Liam from Scotland writes in.
Hi, Leo.
Lily says Liam from Scotland. Hi, Eddie V and Corey. Keep up the great work. Do you think motion controls and experimental gameplay styles still have a place in modern Nintendo design, or are they becoming a thing of the past? Thanks for all you do for the Elite Block agents. Um,
Yes, I still think motion controls and experimental gameplay styles still have a place. The thing with Nintendo is they are innovative creators. They try to create something or take stuff that may been used before and make it in their own way or design something different and bring a new way of play. Because when Nintendo does that and is successful, others will try to mimic or take what they have and improve on it and everything. So I think motion controls still have a way. Now, yes, we got mouse controls um with the Joy-Cons, but you still could do motion control stuff. with it. And I think when Nintendo thinks outside the box, that makes gaming more interesting, more fresh and everything. So I think, yeah, I think motion controls and experimental gameplay is still uh important definitely from Nintendo and everything. They've it becoming a thing of the past? No, because the thing about it is when Nintendo does it, everybody wants to follow. Just look at all the different handheld systems that came out.
Hmm.
Uh at the Switch, at the 3DS. Every time Nintendo does something different, there are other companies who want to get a piece of that pie when it becomes successful.
Hmm.
No, I'm like, I'm sorry for Microsoft and sorry for Sony, and I said this many times. They are not innovative, because they don't take a risk of trying to do something different in video games. They like to play it safe with their consoles, graphics, and all the lights, camera, action, buzzwords. They are safe where Nintendo could take that risk and do something different and have other people try to figure out how did they do that.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I think I definitely think these types of controls are them being the focus of the console are a thing of the past. But like, I think as you look at the Switch 2 right now, like mouse support is huge, right? Like that's a big feature, but it's not like the main feature. You can still use motion controls on the Switch and Switch 2, right? For like, arms and Switch Sports and Ring Fit Adventure and, other, Mario Kart has motion controls in it, right? But I think it's just it's one of those things that's like expected now. It's like when you buy a PlayStation and Netflix is on it. It's like it's just kind of expected now. It's not like a marketing
Mhm,
feature or anything. It's just expected, you know. I mean, it got to the point where people were asking where it was on the Switch 1, right? Like, where's Netflix on the Switch? And it's like, well, it's kind of the console you play while you're watching Netflix at this point, like it's one of those things. But uh, I think the Switch 2 has all of these great features that you can use if you want them. They're there, right? But I don't know if this type of stuff. I mean, we're seeing it with VR right now, also, right? It's like a lot of people are starting to divest in VR because it's not a platform that sells. It's a nice idea. It's a nice accessory, right? But until that ease of use and that convenience is there,
mhm.
people aren't going to be clamoring for it. The only person I know that loves VR is my nephew. He loves it, but he bought a MetaQuest and they just shut that whole division down. So who knows how much longer that thing's going to work? But it is what it is, man. I do think motion controls are fun. It's fun to watch my kids try to use the steering wheel in Mario Kart. uh, but other than that, it's like I
And
like my
snipper
Pro
clips.
controller, and it's going to stay here. Oh, yeah, but even
Yeah.
Snipper Clips was just the Joy-Con turned sideways, and you could
Oh,
use a normal
yeah.
controller, and it wasn't like swiping to stab it or anything. But all right, let's move on. We got 2 questions left, Ed. Let's get through these, and then we can go to sleep.
Okay.
Jasmine, via email writes in, says, "Hey, Edward and Corey, I just found the podcast when I was looking up Nintendo podcasts and YouTube channels after picking up Pokemon Pokopia, and I have to say I love the show. What are your thoughts on the wave of cross-gen releases between Switch 1 and Switch 2? And do you think this approach helps or hurts the identity of the newer system? Thanks for the amazing podcast."
So I think it's kind of great. With the cross gen Switch One to Switch Two. It allows for people who are still on budget and still want gaming and stuff. That games are available. I think it doesn't hurt the identity of a Switch 2, I think it kind of helps it because you know, if you built a great library or you built your personal library on Switch 1, you could carry over to Switch 2 with ease, physically and digitally. And also, if you are in a Soul Expansion member from the Switch 1, you get the upgrade of Virtual Console. The Virtual Console, I'm sorry, the Retro Boy and the GameCube and stuff. So you have already a built-in library of great games, and even some of the games that may not be big and stuff, you can carry over to the this new system, and it runs better and stuff. So I think with the cross-gen releases and that identity to switch to, I'm like, I feel like it's easier to get. Um, you know, it's easier to recognizable. You don't have to spend too much money. Besides getting the console and maybe some accessories, and you could switch games and play games like that. So that's my answer to it. That's my thoughts on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this would have been a different conversation even when the Switch 1 came out, right? Because we were still getting cross-gen. But I think the way that you look at games across the board now is like the way that games scale, the way a lot of these engines are designed to scale for lower end hardware, higher end hardware. I mean, look at the variety of power across, the I mean, there are still games coming out on Xbox One and PS4, right? So like, you look at those, you look at the Switch 1 and Switch 2, you look at these handheld PCs, and then you all the way up to the Series X and the PS5 Pro and high end PCs, right? Like, these games have to scale, and they have to scale logically, and they have to scale to the platforms that make sense for them. And so, like, when you go back and look at Nintendo by themselves, like Nintendo's like the Switch ecosystem, like look at all like free upgrades that the Switch 2 provides Nintendo first party games.
Hmm.
And then paid upgrades for a variety of things like expansions, or Animal Crossing one was $5 and you got XYZ, but like now they're selling a Switch 2 bundle with Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 in it, right? Like, that's a Switch 1 game, but has Switch 2 features. So like,
Hmm.
I just don't think it's as big of a deal as it was even 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago. I mean, look at all the complaints about, you know, I mean, let me back up. Look at the biggest games on PlayStation 5. They're all PS4 games. God of War Ragnarok, Horizon, Forbidden West, Grand Theft Auto 5, Fortnite, Minecraft. Minecraft still doesn't have a native PS5 version, by the way. Everybody take note.
Wow.
So like, we're also at a point of diminishing returns, especially on the higher end consoles, of like, a lot of people don't care. Square Enix revealed that their reports on Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, it has the performance mode, but a lot of people kept it in quality mode because a lot of people spend a lot of money on these 4K TVs and they want to see how beautiful these games look. And
Right.
a lot of people are still frame rate blind. They can't see the difference between, or either they can't see or they don't care about the difference between 30, 60, 120 frames a second.
Right.
They want to play a game that's fun, and they don't care where they play it. They don't care how they play it. I mean, I bet the Switch 1 is still selling, you know, especially the Switch Lite. It's the cheapest option to play Mario games and Zelda games,
Yes.
like the Switch Lite. You look at the way these consoles are going up in prices, right? Like even though the Switch Lite went up in price, it's still $230 versus $700, $800, $900. You take $900 and you buy a Switch Lite, you can still buy like 6 games for that price,
Exactly.
and they're Nintendo first party games, Mario Kart, Mario, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, Zelda, you have 6 Zelda games on there, you know? You got a 2D and 2 3D Metroid games on there. You got
You
Pokemon
pretty
games.
much got same. If you get the Nintendo or the NES or Nintendo Online expansion, you literally have 75% of the whole Legend of Zelda
Yeah.
franchise.
I mean, the only ones you don't have are the ones that either haven't been released on Switch or Switch 2 yet, or the handheld
Yeah.
ones, like the DS and the 3DS ones, like literally it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's hurting. It's more about, I mean, this is what we talk about at work a lot now, is like these companies are fighting for your time and your attention. It doesn't matter which platform you're playing on. It just matters that you're playing on their platform, right? And so, like, as long as Nintendo can keep people in the Switch ecosystem, quote unquote, right? It's why the digital library was so important for PlayStation for the PS4, right?
Yeah.
People invested in that digital library, and they find out the PlayStation 5 is backwards compatible. Well, I've already got all these games that will probably run better. I have games to play on it until I wait for that next one that I want to play, you know? And so, like, to me, like, yes, the hardcore went out and purchased the Switch 2. It was the fastest selling console of all time. Okay, so it had a soft holiday. You know why? Because it sold so many units already to the hardcore people that wanted it. And
Yeah.
now I think a lot of people are like people who wanted to wait for games are waiting for the game that they want to play. And it seems like Pokemon Pokopia is that. We know Fire Emblem is going to be that. We know that Yoshi is that for some people, right? The next 3D Mario game is definitely going to be that. The next big Zelda game is definitely going to be that. So, like, as long as Nintendo can keep these people playing on their ecosystem, playing in their ecosystem, providing nice features like Nintendo Music and NSO classic games and discounts on games and upgrades that make sense, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it matters at all. I think it's great. I think the fact that people have things to look forward to, if somebody's playing, let's say somebody just got Tears of the Kingdom for Switch 1 and they really want to Switch 2, but they just can't get one right now for one reason or another. But when they finally get that Switch 2 and they start playing Tears of the Kingdom on that, right? Like,
Ooh, that 60 frames is so good.
I mean, it's
Buttery
not even just
smooth.
that. It's the lighting. It's the enhanced graphical fidelity. It's
Yeah.
I've been thinking about playing those games again recently.
Breath of Tears, just Breath.
Both of them. I'm like, I
I
got so
just
many other games to play right
I
now, but
I
like,
f I just feel like if running around in those games, I feel like there's still stuff I could find that I haven't even touched, be like,
oh,
"I didn't
100%.
even know this was here."
Especially Tears. Like, I beat it and I was like, I'm done. uh, Mostly because I just didn't want to build things, but yeah, man. Uh,
Yeah.
let's move on to our last question, then we'll get out of here, Ed.
Alright.
Brandon O writes in, "Hey guys, shout out to all the Elite Block agents out there. With third-party support stronger on Switch 2, do you think Nintendo risks losing some of its first-party magic spotlight, or does it actually help the ecosystem? Thanks, and keep up the great pod."
It helps the
Oh, it
ecosystem,
definitely helps for sure.
and the thing about it is that it doesn't risk losing the first party magic. If you look at Switch One, and me and Corey has talked about this, and our guest, I should say too, have talked about this many times, that a lot of third party has benefited and saved by putting their games on Switch. And
Mhm.
so they want to continue that business trend on the Switch too. Like I mentioned on last week when I talked about packs, the double dipping that happened on Switch. for a lot of third party, getting the physical and the digital for third party, and even for indie games, saved a lot of business and stuff. So that's just going to continue to help the ecosystem. Once again, Nintendo is not trying to compete with anybody. They're doing their own thing. They're trying to support their console with their games. Everything else with the ecosystem is helping supporting the system and getting players and having to have a better and bigger library. So yeah, I think it helps.
Yeah, I definitely think the third party stuff helps. I mean, we've been talking since the GameCube of how third party has taken shortcuts on Switch or on Nintendo platforms or hasn't shown up at all, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where like now Capcom, every time they release a game, everybody's like standing up and cheering because it looks so good and it plays so well. And it like, this is the third party support we've always wanted on Nintendo since the GameCube. And like, yeah, it definitely helps. And you know what it does? It allows Nintendo to take more time on their first party stuff because they have games that they can put in gaps that need filled, right? I mean, it definitely helps. I mean, this is what we were talking about with indies on the Switch 1, right? Where like there's so many great indies that filled the spots that Nintendo needed spots to be filled, right? But then Nintendo had such a great cadence of new game, re-release, remaster, remake, etc., that it didn't really matter. But like games are going to take longer to come out for the Switch 2. So like having this third party support is going to be incredibly helpful for them. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I can't tell, aside from Marathon, I can't tell you the last time I turned on my Xbox or PlayStation. I mean, I can tell you the last time I turned on my PlayStation 5 was to turn it on to set it up because it was new.
That's shade, but that's truth.
It's just the truth. Can't help it. Can't handle the
Yeah.
truth.
I just gotta put some new batteries in my controller and play some Xbox games and stuff. And finish some stuff on, yeah, because I got a ton of Xbox games that I just need to finish.
I just got a ton of games I need to finish in general.
Yeah,
Across
not
the
because
board.
I true, because I do want to play like I said, Forza Horizon 6, and then Gears of War E-Day whenever that comes out. That I think that's gonna be good.
Yeah, Gears is going to be fun. I'll probably play through that Halo remake, and I mean, I'm really looking forward to Fable. Honestly, I'm like really excited for Fable. Really excited for Fable.
Right.
But speaking of finishing things, Ed, let's finish this podcast. Get me out of here.
Well, everybody, I really don't have a final thought. Like I just said, hopefully you guys look forward to the video games this year. I really do want to bring it to Boss Rush, and hopefully you guys will read it and enjoy the podcast and things like that. That's my final thought. Corey, did you have any final thoughts?
I just I hope everybody is I know there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the world right now, but just everybody just stay positive and be positive towards each other and be there for each other even if you disagree on things. And this world needs to be a better place. And I mean, I know it feels like when we do something positive it's insignificant, but it's not. And so just stay positive and be there for people. And like I said, be there for your friends, but also be there for the people that you may disagree with, because you don't know what they're going through or what they've gone through, or, yeah,
Yeah.
positivity.
Yes. Well, everybody, thank you for watching and or listening to this episode of Nintendo Pow Block. If you joined us live, follow or subscribe to the channel you're watching if you haven't done so already. If you're watching later on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share your thoughts in the comments, whether it's on today's topic or a new idea we can discuss in a future episode. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, consider leaving us a 5-star rating and a nice review, as it helps us with discoverability and reach. You can support Boss Rush on Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network at a tier that's right for you. You can even follow for free and gain access to all of our base shows on one feed. Thank you again for watching and or listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Goodbye.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Francisco Santillan, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., and Fitzpatrick. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.